Alright YouTube, what's going on? How are we doing? Welcome to the stream. Knufus, hello mate, is that you here now? It must be. Hello pal, you're here on Twitch, thank you man. I think you're the first one in for the day mate. I will get the most chat going in just a second. Hi people, welcome to the stream. Let me just post on Discord that we're up and running because people didn't expect me to stream today because I had internet issues this morning, which we will talk about along with a few other things today. But not just yet. I'll just post on the Discord. You can join the Discord for free in the description if you would like to, as always. On YouTube, and there's a tile for it on Twitch. And let's get the multi-chat software up and running, shall we, as well. Boom, bish, bang, bing, bong. You can't see what I'm doing, but I clicked a button for every single one of those noises. Wow. Right, there we go. There we go, there we go. There we go. I think that says good to go. Cool. Happy days, huh? Happy days. Vladimir, welcome to the YouTube stream. How are you? Vladimir, why didn't your message pop up in my multi-chat? Maybe it came through beforehand. Who knows? Hopefully that's all it was. We'll see. If people can type things, we'll see if it's working or not. Hopefully it is. It should be. I haven't changed anything, so it definitely should be. What's supposed to be in the middle of my screen here? I'm forgetting how to be a YouTuber. Oh, because that's supposed to be over there? Alright, I'll move that after. Move that after. Cool. Alright. How are we feeling? Let me know. Thanks for tuning in. No, Joshua, you've put a message through and that's not come up either. What the hell? Alright, we'll restart the multi-chat software. There's always a problem. Mate, the beginning of my stream so far on Twitch, which is the one I start first, has been me just lying on the ground. I literally got run over by a plane. I got run over by a plane for my opening interaction of the day whilst I try and sort out my multi-chat software. That's fun. I wonder if that's indicative of how my day is going to go. That's awesome. I think we can all be really pleased with that. What a time to be alive. If we can all get lots of yays and emojis and massive donations in the chat for that wonderful opening to the day. Fantastic. Right, there we go. I should be able to see what people are saying from this point onwards. Sorry that's taken so long today. Things were not working as intended. Sometimes these things are out of our control. Hopefully now that's us. All good. Joshua, hello mate. There we go. We should now be all good, all happy. How are we feeling? Are we well? Thanks for tuning in, my dude. Okay, let's warm up. If we get any challenges to do, I'll do them. All in the description. All goes towards the goal for the day to keep this sustainable, etc. Make a big deal out of any support and challenges we get. Let me know how your day's going. If anyone's said anything before this point on any of the platforms, sorry if I haven't seen it. Feel free to write it again. We should be good to go now.
We have taken objective apples.
And yeah, we're going to play some BF1 today, as per usual. I could really do with finishing early today because I was supposed to go and do something with Emily, but it kind of depends how the day pans out, of course. But we'll see if that's possible. We'll talk about the article that everyone's absolutely freaking out about. We'll kill a couple of people here and there like that. And hopefully we'll have a decent time. Thanks for hitting the like button, which I'm sure you all have. If you haven't, here's your opportunity to do so. Fantastic, thank you. And subscribe/follow if you're not a part of the community, if you want regular Battlefield content. I've been producing Battlefield content every single day, despite the fact there's nothing going on in Battlefield, so imagine how much you'll get when there is stuff going on in Battlefield. Wow, huh? Who would have thought? What loadouts are you using today? I don't know, Almy. I don't know. It depends what challenges we get, if we get challenges, and it depends on which guns I need for footage, for B-roll and stuff. So we'll see. Tony's here. Right, we've got Tony here on the Twitch stream as well. Hello, Tony. Nufus, sorry, mate. I don't know if you said anything else after that message earlier, but I hope you're well, man. My most chat was being a pain. Do we have plans, people? Let me know. Have you seen the article that's going around? Let me know. We'll be talking about that a bit today and why I am nowhere near as concerned about it as seemingly a lot of other people are. Is we're whipping people up into a frenzy in a way that I do not think is particularly necessary. Or at least we're jumping to a lot of conclusions, let's put it that way. Dean! Hello, mate. Thank you, pal. Let's get some pew-pews.
Pew, pew.
Dean, thanks for the $9.99, dude. Immense. Dean is the first supporter of the day, everybody. Therefore, king of the stream, choosing power of the day. Dean, how's the work stuff going, man? I know it was all kind of tumultuous and whatnot for a while. How's things, mate? And thank you for the support, my dude. Opening spot of the day. Well, Super can crack a goal today. Fantastic. I think you should have died. What the hell was that? Thank you so much. You want to see some scout gameplay? Yeah, no worries, mate. I'll do it next round. Thank you. Fantastic. Dean, for you and for anyone that isn't aware, if you want to see your support go a lot further for the daily goal, Streamlabs in the description. Streamlabs means I get... Well, if you support on YouTube via mobile, your support is worth less than half compared with... Compared with... What? Compared with Streamlabs. Streamlabs is amazing for the goal. Thank you so much for the support, man. I appreciate it. I'm starting to hate the Butilov in a way that I just didn't used to. It seems insane. I don't know why I never noticed previously. The past couple weeks I've been noticing how ridiculous that vehicle actually is. If you guys got any plans for your day, let me know. You make sure you got something to hydrate with if you're going to hang around for a while. Like I say, we will be talking about the article. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you'll see it later. Well, maybe. I might put it up on screen while I go through it. We'll see what happens. I learned new trade since I've been here last. My family purchased 36 acres recently and been building my own house within the next year. Oh, dude, that's wild. What an existence. That's awesome, man. Make sure you keep me updated, man. That sounds fascinating. And thanks for the support today, mate. That's great. Lovely to see you again. I'll update the percentage after the round.
For that tour of the map line you're playing down.
Hunted! Hey, thank you, bro. Hey, man, I like to help people see the sights. Thank you for the 3. Can we get Hunters to love the 3, please, everybody? Oh, my God. Can we get Hunters to love the 3, please, everybody? Hunted with the first Streamlabs donor of the day. Thank you, mate. I'm very excited and also anxious. That's understandable, man. But I hope it goes really well for you. That's great. That's really cool, dude. Hunted, how was your sleep, mate? Any good? Hunted and Dean with the early sport, everybody. Also, I'm in a spawn trap for my first round of the day, my little warm-up. How fun is that? Yeah, great. BF1, right? Woo. Excellent. Ah, that's all good, Dean. Anytime you're about, mate. Anytime you like, man. All good. Be cool to see you, pal. And again, thank you for the support today, mate. It was bad, thanks for asking. No worries, man. You're welcome. All good. Hopefully you get a good one tonight then. Bounce it out a little bit. I'm going through a weird period at the minute where I think there's 5 or 6 days now of getting, I don't know, 5 or 6 hours sleep at night. Wake up early in the morning, get up because I'm done. It gets to night time. I don't feel like I need to sleep. It's weird, dude. I don't know what the deal is. I feel like I need to be getting a lot more sleep than I am getting, but body's just not here for it right now. Sorry. Oh, sweet, Joshua. I didn't know that. Well, it's awesome, dude. Hopefully people will enjoy Howdah 2 on Xbox then. Right, that's our little warm-up done. I don't play through these maps. That makes me sad. Anyway, we need to get some scout footage for Dean's support. So we'll do that. And we'll update the percentage for the day. We're off the mark, everybody. Let's have lots of pats on the back and firm handshakes all around as we aim for a goal. Boo. Dish Soap, what's up? Buckingham, Ronnie, how are we feeling, people? Yeah, it's rough hunted, mate. Maybe you should just tell them to, you know, get with the program, mate, you know? Get it together. I'll let you get some sleep. Le Petit Corporal's here. What's up, man? What's going on? Oh, it's gone through to there. Sorry, the support didn't go through to where I thought it would go through to, so I'm taking a while bumbling around on my phone. Ah, it's there. Got it. We get up to 4%, I believe. 4% of the goal. And again, if you're wondering why it's not bumped up very much, it's not being mega greedy. It's because of our calculations, because of the YouTube cut and all that, and the App Store cut and everything. Because the bulk of it came through on YouTube. So don't think that I've upped everything. I haven't. Okay, good. Glad we can all understand. There we go. Smash this here, that there, that here. Cool, I've got everything where it should be again. Great. Right, onwards. Scout for Dean. I can't remember which scout weapons I still need footage for. I'm going to assume I need footage with this because I hate it, so we'll do it now and get it out of the way. I'm alright, Le Petit Corporal. Well, I don't know. I've had a weird day. I've had a stressful day so far. We'll talk about it. But hopefully the stream will be good. How are you? Rocco's back. What's up? How's things? And if you enjoy this round, make sure you thank Dean. This is his challenge. Lots of emojis for Dean and Hunted. Back on BF1 today. We will be talking about the article that you may or may not know about. If you don't know about it, congrats, that's great. It means you're not chronically online. Although I'm not really, and yet I know about it, so I was just unlucky. Excuse me. That's a nice cough. If you guys want any more challenges, I'll do the next one after this. There's no queue. They're in the description on YouTube or the challenge tab on Twitch, or Tile rather. If we get a goal today, we will all rejoice. Yeah, make sure you let me know if you've got anything going on. If you've got any food plans today, if you're drinking anything, etc. Eldar's here. What's up? Sorry if I've missed anything in the chat or anyone entering. Pleasure to have you here. Things on my monitor in slightly different places today because I've prepped it to maybe throw the article up on screen at some point to go through it, which means I have to orient things on my monitor differently. So I'm missing things a little bit more because I'm not used to it. That guy's dead. Rejoice. Why is this like horizontal? I think you mean vertical. I think you mean the opposite of that. Anyway, Big Kaka, it's because you're on the short stream, mate. If you don't want to be on the short stream, use the pinned chat message to get to the main stream. Or go to my channel page and select it from there. I dual stream on YouTube. There's a vertical stream and a normal stream. You can watch whichever one you prefer. The shorts one is there just to grab people that are already on the short feed. It is not there for the regular viewers. The guy's weak. Something's going on with my stick. I've noticed that twice. The first time I thought it was just a mistake on my part. This happened again there. I have to watch that. I'm hoping there's something not wrong with the controllers. I've not had this one very long. Can I get this revived? Thank you. The second time I've gone to run and slide, and instead I've just been stuck in place. I'm hoping my stick's not sticking down. You had fun, did you, Agent Gibbs? Good stuff, mate. And welcome to the stream today, man. Are you feeling good? You really don't like the SMLE? I love the SMLE. I don't like the eye in the sight variant. And this is Lawrence Arabia's SMLE, and it's the same as the infantry variant. And I don't like the sights. I like the carbine version, the marksman version, or variant rather. I did see about Diogo Jota. Yeah, man, that's part of my weird morning. It threw me through a loop, dude. It's just a weird feeling. It shows that you never really know, and you can't take anything for granted, man. Yeah, man. Yeah. Don't have much to say about it, but yeah, it's just horrifically sad. Happy Camper, welcome to the stream. How are you? Thanks for tuning in. You gotta go, Dean. Oh, dude, all good, all good. I'll catch you later on, or whatever you're able to come back, mate. Thank you for the opening support of the day, man. We'll see you soon. Good luck with everything, mate. Happy Camper, thank you for the follow on Twitch. Welcome to the Twitch community. Appreciate it, mate. Remember, everybody on Twitch, following is free. Twitch Primes are free as well. And on YouTube, subscribing is free. Following is free on Instagram and TikTok and Facebook and everywhere else if you're watching on those. Very regular Battlefield content, even whilst there's very little to cover, meaning you'll get a ton of content once the new Battlefield comes out. What is the Delta? Hello, mate. Welcome to the stream. I will be talking about the article. I'm waiting for a few more people to trickle in. We'll be talking about it. If you guys know about the article, you can feel free to ask me questions now if you like, and we'll get around to them if I remember what the questions are. But we'll go over the article in a little while, maybe throw it up on screen. I'm not sure. We'll see, but we'll talk about it. My Sidearm didn't fire. That was weird. Subscribe makes you at least 20% cooler. That is potentially true. And lots of love, please, everybody, for Dean and Hunted getting us off the mark as we aim for a goal day today. We had 3 days in a row under 15%, and then we had a mega day yesterday at just under 300%, so it kind of balanced out, which was nice. So we'll see how we go today. Hi, Jack. Welcome to the stream. That was a really weird death. I would say hold your opinions for a while. If you've got questions, give them to me, but hold your opinions for a while, because there's a lot to talk about. And remember that articles, just like YouTube videos, can be very misleading and can be very incendiary, because that's good for clicks. Whee! I will tell you, whether you know about the article in question or not, as someone that is highly critical, highly constructively critical, was one of the earliest criticizers of Battlefield 2042, and someone that has a huge amount, potentially the most riding on the next Battlefield. I am nowhere near as concerned as the vast majority of people that seem to be commenting on the article at the moment. So if that gives you any kind of comfort, great. Awesome. You're waiting for the PC to arrive still? When is it supposed to arrive? How did those shots land? Battlefield 1, connections. Although I'm on high ping today, so it's going to be super mega random.
We have taken objective butter.
Hi AWAX, how are you? And Scatters, how are you? So you hold on, does that mean you got it all to work in the end, Scatters? How did you fix it? What was going on with it? Bring this down. This down. That's the main point of the article. Actually, that's kind of part of what I'm going to talk about. The article, I feel like, was super mega muddled. Super muddled. But basically, the article was talking about negative insider information about the next Battlefield. Sort of, kinda. Again, when we have more people trickle in now, talk about it properly. You're sort of getting my vibe here that I actually don't give the article that much credence. Which is why I'm going to talk about it. Because a lot of what you're going to see online is like, oh no, everything's terrible. And I feel like, as someone that is highly critical, and has been very much just straight down the line before and has said when things are terrible, I'm not sat here saying, oh no, everything is terrible. I had to restart my router every time when that error showed up and that fixed it. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's generally just a good idea to restart the router every now and again, so that's cool, man. I'm glad it worked anyway. I had internet service issues this morning, which is why I'm hoping to finish early today so I can go on a long walk with Emily, because I didn't get to do my exercise this morning. So I woke up this morning at 6 AM and found that my internet wasn't working. Came in, restarted the router, whatever you want to call it, all that jazz. Nothing. Called up the ISP. Obviously, at that time in the morning, there's no one working there, so I went through to the AI helpline. But I went through to the AI helpline after I checked the state of the servers. The servers apparently were all working fine, so I was like, all right, must be something wrong with my router. Did everything it told me to do, even though it hung up on me 6 different times and told me it would call me back each time. The AI did not call me back each time. I had to start all over again because it's AI, so I didn't remember anything it said, blah, blah, blah. And then I saw after 40 minutes of trying to sort that there was a problem in the local area. It was not to do with my router. And they claimed they had set that out on the server status page 40 minutes ago. But they obviously had not, because I checked it 40 minutes ago. So I was very annoyed, but thankfully it got fixed up. After I made my shorts and uploaded them very, very slowly from my phone hotspot. My God, it took a very long time. So I basically wasted my morning. So I'm very behind schedule. Did not get to do video work, other than the video for tomorrow on the second channel, which will come out. You're welcome. But I did not get to do main channel video work, and I did not get to do my exercise. So hopefully today can be a successful one, a bit of a short one. I can go and get some stuff done. But we'll see how that goes. Okay, Jack. Well, I hope that goes all right, mate. Fingers crossed, pal. You just try and focus on other things in the meantime, Jack. That's all you can really do, right? Miss. Where you gone? He's not there. Maybe he died. Oh my god, there's a... Where the hell does that fly come from? Seriously, there was a fly literally right in my face. It's extremely distracting. I did not mean to throw that. Weird finger moment. Hi Tina, yeah, I will get to all that, but yes, I think the article is very muddled, and was I don't think it's as altruistic as it is supposed to be. What weapon are you using? This is Lawrence of Arabia's SMLE, which is basically the normal SMLE infantry, but with a skin on it. I like how Gigi didn't read my message. I may have missed it. May have missed it, AWAX. What was the message, mate? I saw Howdah was coming to Xbox, yes. Well, I didn't see it. I was told about 5 minutes ago.
We have lost objective butter.
Right, I don't have a challenge for the next round, everybody. If we get a challenge from the description from anyone on YouTube or Twitch, I'll do it next. It'll go towards the goal for the day. Thank you very much. Otherwise, use mine gun. Do you ever do camping? Context matters. Do you mean in the game or in reality? In reality, no. I've not been camping for very, very, very many years. Also, I don't really camp in the game either. So I guess the answer is no. Did I just see a guy through the... I did. Nice, whatever. Damn. Mega mile around the corner, but such is life. There's a parade passing in front of our house tomorrow. Oh, what kind of parade? Oh, good stuff, Tina. Feel like 5-horse challenge. Well, the challenges are in the description, mate, because we have to try and keep this sustainable. There's no pressure on you to put one through, but that's how we do it. Yeah. I said, Gigi, you're going to do our... Are you going to do your... and hold on. Are you going to do your and get HD2? It's coming out on August 26th. Am I going to play Helldivers 2? What, on Xbox? No, I already played it on PC. I honestly wasn't super enamored with it after about a couple weeks of playing. I found it a bit samey and formulaic, to be honest. And no, I don't have the capacity at this point to do other games for content, unless they're bonus streams. So no. Unfortunately not. Well, unfortunately for you. Oh, he jumped over it. If you get to Japan later in the year, you ought to go camping. We already have the Japan trip planned out. Well, apart from one day, but we're in a hotel every day. But maybe one day. Whoa, that is a hell of a spawn, man.
We have taken objective apples.
That should have landed. Mon, hello mate. Mon, I can see you've put through 55 Swedish krona on YouTube, but it's not popped up on my mini feed for some reason. I appreciate that, man. Can we get Mon to live in the chat? Here's some pew-pews. Thank you very much, Mon. I appreciate it, man. How are you, dude? Are you keeping well? I'll add that onto the percentage after. Yes, Delta Force is coming in August. Yes, I will be playing that because it's it actually lines up with the Battlefield community quite well. Oh, that's cool, Ronnie. Well, mate, I hope the parade is cool. Can we get emojis for Mon for the support, please, everybody? Mon, how are you doing, dude? Thank you for that. I appreciate it. That gets added on. We're hoping for a bit of a shorter day today, people, so I can go and have my walk and get some other work stuff done, because this morning has been a mess and I didn't get things done I needed to. So thank you, Mon, for the little pump forwards. I appreciate it. Big love, Mon. How's life, mate? Unless you're too busy. If you're busy, don't worry. You don't have to tell me. It's all good. Pew-pews and emojis for Mon. You gotta go now, AWAX? No worries, dude. You enjoy the rest of your day, man. Thanks for hanging out. Look after yourself. I'm good, just waiting 11 days till Portugal. Hell yeah, dude. It won't take long. You'll be there before you know it, man. That's awesome. That's great. I hope you have a fantastic time. I am a million miles down the scoreboard. Oh, he's so weak. Oh, that has to be a spawn. That has to be a spawn. That's bullshit. That's that's not cool, Battlefield, man. That's crazy, mate. Just literally spawns in the middle of an open field in front of me. Appalling. That's so bad. I was about to kill that horse, mate. Someone else got the kill on the horse, and I died because of the spawn. Battlefield 1, everybody. It'd be cool if my guy would mark flags better, yeah. Oh, wait, I've got it now. Sick. I have managed to take it from him. My gun didn't fire. And I didn't get a kill for that, even though I got the red hit marker. Dice. I want a refund on some of these moments. Sad face indeed. Sad face indeed.
Soldats d'assaut ennemis, restez en alerte. Capturez cet objectif. Quelqu'un peut nous donner des munitions?
But yes, after I think the single worst 3-day period of my streaming career so far. Yesterday was a good day, thankfully, which was very, very welcome. You lurk away, Mon, no worries, dude. Oh yeah, good stuff on the yesterday.
We have taken objective butter.
Thank you, Dale.
We have lost objective Charlie.
Where? Oh. I assume they're spawning behind me again.
We have lost objective Edward.
Not the most fabulous round in the world. Hi, Charles. How are you? Thanks for tuning in, man. What is going on with this squad? No wonder we haven't got any points. Oh no. Oh, the people. Jesus, am I alright? Oh, thank you. Hi, Muffin. How are you, mate? You having a good day? Right, again, big old shout out to Dean and Hunted for the sports day, getting us off the mark. Thank you. And shout out to you guys for being here, keeping me company. Thanks for any likes for the algorithm on YouTube. Thank you for any subs and follows. Welcome to the community. You get 10% call of life at least when you sub. You get very regular Battlefield content, even though there's nothing new on Battlefield at the minute. Yay, finally the horse kill. Let's go. What are we shooting at now? Go on, teammate. I'll distract him. Yeah, good work. That plane's still lagging a little bit, I think.
We are losing objective.
Got him. Thank you for the emojis for the horse murder. Always appreciated. Oh. There we go. Article is kind of terrifying, to be honest. Yeah, not for me. But we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it. Everyone's welcome to their opinion. But, I'm relatively unbothered. But if we need to, I'll go through it bit by bit if people are really concerned and tell you why I'm not particularly bothered. Even though I've got a huge amount riding on the next game, I find myself pretty much nonplussed by the article. I don't rate the article very highly. Oh, that should have hit. Dude, it was looking directly at the guy.
We have taken objective butter.
Anyway, we find ourselves half an hour into the day, everyone. Oh, tripwire kill, let's go.
Défendez l'objectif.
Right, round coming to a close. So, like I say, if we get a challenge, I'll do it next. No queue at the moment. Appreciate it. I don't know, dude. Actually, I was going to say, I don't know what's going on with the skipping around and stuff, but we're on high ping, and so's the enemy, so it makes sense.
We are losing objective butter.
Présence d'un soldat d'assaut.
I think I'm dead, everyone? What the hell? What the... Okay. Okay, so if you guys, rather than making statements, because we're not currently talking about it properly, if you ask me questions instead, I can answer the questions. We will talk about the article in a while. I'll actually, if we need to, I'll actually open it up on stream and we'll just talk about it generally. But if instead of that at the moment, if you've got things to say, if you want to like direct questions to me about specific things, that'll be easier. Hi Tommy, how are you, mate? You having a good day? I have read the article, by the way. I've read through it. I think, I'll probably mention this later as well. I think part of the problem is, at the minute, with the article, is what's the betting that most people that are commenting on the article, not in here, not specifically in here, but in general, posting about it online and writing scaremongering tweets and stuff, what percentage of them do you think have actually read the article? And then consider what percentage of the people that read the article read it all the way through. And then consider what percentage of those people that read it all the way through actually properly considered the points and have enough knowledge to know exactly what it means and which parts are relevant. And when you look at it that way, it's not that the article isn't scary. The article is scary as if everything in the article is accurate and everything turns out to be bad, then obviously the article is then terrifying. But assuming that that's the case, I think it's very flawed, like super, super flawed, which is why I find myself not very concerned by it. And I think we're getting a lot of tweets and things and Reddit posts when most of them will not be from people that have, as I say, either read the article or read it all the way through or considered it properly.
We have lost objective Edward.
Hi Fizz, you having a good day, mate? Welcome to the stream. What's the article? I need to stop calling... it is an article, but I feel like it's a bit of a hit piece, honestly. But the article is written by... This is not meant to be demeaning in any way, shape, or form. It's written by someone, I can't remember his name, because I've not heard of him before, and it's for a production, or... I don't know what you would call it. It's for a company I've also never heard of before. Getting people to actually read things 25 is an impossible task. Well, yeah, that's not wrong. Hi, Oliver. Right, guys, I will, in a little while, I will get it up on screen, on stream rather, and we'll talk about it properly. But if you want to know what the article is, honestly, if you just type into Google right now, BF6 Battlefield 6 article, I'm sure it will come up. If you go on Reddit, you'll find it. If you go on Twitter, you'll find it. Whee.
On peut pas perdre l'objectif. Défendez-le.
Or a Battlefield 6 concerns article. I'm certain that'll pop it up.
We have lost objective butter.
Mitrailleuse ennemie, par là.
If we, this is not a case of you have to do it, but obviously if we get to goal early today, I'll just slam the article up straight away and we'll just read it. But obviously I need to play through a bit first, otherwise. There we go, nice. Hi, Oliver. Didn't know you were talking about BF article, I just joined. Oh, it's the title of the stream, unless you're on the vertical stream. If you're on the vertical stream, then it doesn't say it. I missed both of those. That's sad. Too many. Hey, what's up, Brian? I think the Ross is really good as well. I actually really like the SMLE. I just don't like this variant. Thanks again for any likes today for the algorithm on YouTube. Thank you for any subscriptions and follows on any of the platforms you might be watching on today. And thanks again to Dean and Hunted for the support today, getting us off the mark. We're at about 4% of the goal. Thank you very much to the both of them. If you've got any news today to share with us, you can do so, as long as it's stream appropriate. I'm sure we'd all love to hear it. And this round's about to come to a conclusion, so if we do see a challenge come through, we'll do it next. I'm sure I took that damage and then... That was weird. We all know BF6 is going to release in 2026. BF Labs is far from finished. The campaign looks like it's shit and it's July and no info teasers and so on, which BF always does long time before release for hype. The general consensus... Look, it's difficult for me to talk about this because I don't deal with leaks, right? But just to address in any way that I can, the BF Labs is being received really well from what I've heard. Like, really, really well. And the general idea seems to be that if BF Labs released now, as in BF6 released now, from what we've seen from BF Labs, it would be better than 2042 already. I don't know what you mean about the campaign. I don't know anything about it. Do we know anything about the campaign at this point? Granted, the article says that the campaign is behind, which is going to be a key point for me to talk about. But what do we mean about the campaign? What do we know about the campaign at this point? And no info and teasers and so on. Yeah. Oh, hi, Steve. How are you, dude? DJ Michael Pro, welcome to the stream. And no hype and no teasers. I mean, do you want hype and teasers if the game's not ready yet? Or do you... is this rather muffin? Is this not criticism? Are you just saying you think the game's going to be released later rather than sooner? Is that what you're getting at? I think this is... look, this is why I tell people not to put too much credence into leaks. Leaks are very misleading. Leaks can make you believe a game is going to be way better than it will be, or way worse than it will be. It can make you believe it's way ahead or way behind schedule. Leaks are garbage, which is why I hate content about leaks. I think if a content creator puts a video out about leaks here and there, fine, do what you want. But if you're spamming out a video every 2 or 3 days about a new Reddit post, this is why I think it can be really destructive and really affect public opinion when the information isn't always reliable or isn't necessarily reliable. Oh no, it's a bit cold. Give me a second. Right, one sec. Right, I'm going to run my own gun, by the way, so I don't have a challenge to do. I'll switch if we see one come through. What do I need to use? I think I need to do some... I haven't recorded the SNG08 actually, so let's do that. Hi Josh, how are you, dude? Leaked footage of the campaign. Alright, so already I'm kind of like... Okay, so I already don't give that a huge amount of credence, to be honest, because it's leaked footage. But leaked footage of the campaign shows no textures, no kind of bugs. Also, compared to the article, this started again in May 2025 because it was bad. I don't know if it's true. Okay, so let me just... I'm not having a go at you, Muffin, right? But let me just go through this statement here to show why people can end up just spiraling out of control, whether it be positive or negative, okay? You talk about leaked footage of the campaign, and you're saying it looks like it doesn't have all the texture and has bugs. Yeah, it's not ready yet. It's leaked footage. I assume you also don't know what build it's from, right? How old it is. So, could the campaign be bad and behind schedule? Absolutely. According to the article, it is, if we believe the article. But can we take that as read? No. Can we take that as being indicative of the quality of the campaign just from the leaked footage? Not necessarily. The article then says they started again in May 2025. What, from scratch? Like, I've read the article. I don't remember that bit. I could be wrong, but I don't remember that bit being in the article. May 2025 was, what, 2 months ago? Do we really think that they have put it together in 2 months? That'd be ridiculous. Let's be honest. That'd be absolutely ridiculous. And then you've ended your statement saying, I don't know if it's true. This is where the problem is. This is why if we pay too much attention to leaks and to articles that have no sources and are using very incendiary wordage with clickbait headlines, we end up with opinions that aren't necessarily in any way, shape or form going to be representative of how we may end up feeling when it comes out. But I will tack onto this. If there's one thing with the next game that I would be most okay with being behind schedule, it would be the single player. I don't think it's good if that's behind schedule, obviously. I don't think it's good. But if there's one thing that I'd be most okay with being behind schedule, it's the campaign. Thank you for dying. Oh, so yeah, like what Josh is saying, textures and basically beautifying the game, that comes right at the end. That comes right at the end. Like, right at the end. There's no point getting the game to look how you want it to look when you've got everything else to sort out. So, as I say, that doesn't mean that the story mode is on track. It doesn't mean it's not on track. I just think it's information that doesn't really give us any clear indication of what's going on. Claimed, alleged, rumored. Yeah. It's been claimed the BF6 campaign is only 6 hours long and might be subject to further cuts. It is claimed devs have stated. Yeah. I'm fine with it. Look, I don't care about the single player, so I'm biased, but are we not okay with the Battlefield campaign being that length? With all the other stuff that Battlefield has? That was a wild death. I'm not going to talk about... I don't talk about him, Muffin, just so you're aware. I won't address anything to do with that specific person. I've had that rule for years now. I will conduct my content completely separately. Doesn't mean he's right or wrong. I don't get involved in anything he's involved in. Let me know what you think while I'm talking. Let me know what you think. Give me your opinions on what I'm saying if you want. Wow, spawn trap on this map. Who would have thought? I think it's really important for me to state, I don't know. Obviously, I don't have a crystal ball. So I can't tell you 100% where on the scale or... my God. Where within the range of huge success or massive failure the next game will land. But I think you're playing a really dangerous game if we put way too much focus into negative articles from, sounds like predominantly former employees, none of them named, no sources, no specifics, an article that doesn't mention the biggest talking point recently, which is the weapons not being locked. And then if we combine that with talking about leaks, leaked footage from builds that we don't know how old they are, with bugs and textures not being there, which is understandable, we jump into conclusions. I think that is about as much good as me sitting here saying, oh, I think it's going to be amazing because sounds like it's going to be good. And they said they think it's going to be good this time. That would be as worthless. I think that's equally as worthless. What melee weapon do you recommend? I generally like the ones that can smash wood and barbed wire. I think it adds extra versatility. More hours is always nicer, of course. Oh, for sure. Like, man, if they could make a 50-hour campaign and it was amazing, then great, but...
We have lost objective apples.
I think in a game where you're offering so much more, it's understandable that it's short, but yeah, I definitely see what you're saying. Not naming devs to a source is very common practice, especially the people that the rest said I agree with. No, I don't, that's not wrong. That's obviously the case, but it also means that we have to take everything with a pinch of salt. I don't think the guy has sat there and made every single thing up, of course. But I think when you're just saying some former devs and some current devs with no names, no time frames, no indication of role. Just as much as I'm saying don't write off everything in the article, you've also therefore got to say don't take everything in the article as being 100% as damning as the person seems to be making it out to be. And again, I want to remind you how critical I have been of this franchise over the past half a decade. But this is just logic. I'm not dealing with opinion, I'm just dealing with logic. I think it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to be as panicked about it as everyone seems to be. Already a spawn trap, huh? Oh yeah, dude. Oh yeah. And whether this was, this isn't necessarily criticism, and it's not necessarily, it doesn't mean the article is 100% garbage, it might not be, but you've also got to consider, again, maybe it's just me, but I, again, had never heard of this person, never heard of the company before, and yet it's got the entire Battlefield community talk about him and that company right now. With an article that is seemingly, in my opinion, having read it, overly fleshed out. It reads like someone trying to fulfill an exam at school. Sorry, fulfill a essay at school and then trying to hit the word count. Circling around topics, coming back to them, linking in things that really don't have any place being in there. Going through the history of this before talking about the actual focus at hand. I wasn't a fan. Let's put it that way, I wasn't a fan. The guy might be very good at what he does. I wasn't a fan of the article. And I think it was very incendiary. And again, when I put it up on screen, I'll tell you why. I think it's misled people in some ways. And a lot of it, this is not an excuse for it happening, of course, but a lot of it's very standard across the industry. Like crunch, am I happy that devs have to crunch and their lives suck because of it? Absolutely not. Yeah, absolutely not. But could you do an expose about almost any AAA developer at this point and find similar things? Yeah. Would it be as bad? I don't know. Might not be. Would it be worse? Maybe. But would you find the same sort of thing? I would near enough guarantee it. So that being included in the article, I think if you are doing an article specifically about the problem with AAA games, include that. And it definitely has a point. Has its place, rather, in the article. But when the article is titled as it is, but then it seems to 90% just focus on BF6 being in trouble, to me, it then feels like it's kind of irrelevant. It's like, oh, okay, cool, something that is a case across the entire industry is just being lobbed in there because of your title, when the article isn't really about that, but it's now being stacked up as being part of the problem with BF6, apparently. Do you see where I'm coming from with this now? I think we're supposed every studio doing crunch hold them accountable. Yeah, for sure. Work conditions and work-life balance are very, very important. I just think it was irrelevant to the article. But if the article had actually been about what it was supposed to be about, I'd have been all for that. I'd be like, yeah, crunch is awful. If it is actually happening and it is making people miserable, yeah, that's awful. But I don't think it's got much to do with BF6 and the way the article was laid out. It lacked focus. If I was grading it as an essay, I would say it lacked focus. What was your key point of this article? Was it this point or that point, or are you just mushing them together and utilizing an easy target and getting some clicks from it? That'd be my question at the bottom of the mock draft. Hello, Sir Night Gamer. How are you? Welcome to the stream. Like they're already making excuses for missing content at launch, but who's making the excuses? So this is, again, this is the thing. Who's making the excuses? It's not like DICE, EA, Criterion, and those have come out and said this. They've actually said nothing of the like about this. The article is saying this from apparent sources. We need to make sure we're viewing things from the correct place. Because are we looking at this as an expose, or are we looking at this as them putting out excuses, or everything in between? Are we just going to be negative about every single thing possible? The article is about development of BF6 according to its headline, and crunch is part of it. But when you read, no, but for me, when you read it, it feels like a BF6 expose with that tacked on, where it suited him, in my opinion. Like, if you read that article all the way through, does it actually really apply to the headline? Like 90% of the article? Or was it just a good headline to get people to click? Weird timing is all I'm saying. I mean, I would bet everything that this is not something orchestrated by EA. That this is not a positive thing. Again, I'm stating, as I said at the start of the stream, I'm stating why I'm not particularly concerned about it. Whereas everybody else seems to be. And everyone can have their opinion, that's fine. And it's not a case of whether someone's going to be right or wrong when the game comes out. It's just more so a case of, I find this just to be noise, which is not necessarily indicative of what's going to happen. We give these things too much credence a lot of the time. Like, for example, if an article had come out, they've spoken to lots of devs, current devs and former devs, and everything was all rosy, and the headline was, AAA gaming is healing, and Battlefield 6 is an indication of this. What would people's reception to that be? I think the vast majority of people would be like, oh yeah, sure, believe it when I see it, blah, 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 blah. I think it's just a case of everyone is frustrated from BF5 and BF 2042, and everyone's going to view everything negatively, regardless. And some of that is understandable, because they have to show us that things are better now. But you also got to keep in mind whenever you're viewing these things, that you might have an inbuilt bias now that you're not necessarily aware of. And it's something I have to check all the time. I have to be aware of it because I'm talking about this stuff all the time, and I have to make sure I'm not doing it. Because obviously I've been about as frustrated with the franchise as anyone over the past half a decade. I sit and complain about the state of this game and the franchise every single day. Every single day. It has completely pulled apart my professional life and therefore my personal life for a long time. It's made my life pretty miserable. But I still have to look at it logically and without bias. And doing that, I'm not concerned. I missed that shot. So the next game could come out and be really bad. And maybe the article is right or maybe the article is wrong. The next game come out and be brilliant, and maybe the article is right and maybe the article is wrong. I just don't, like I say, I don't necessarily see it as being something that is a true indicator of what's going to happen. I have heard Helldivers is coming to Xbox because people have told me today. I probably won't stream it unless it's a bonus stream, no, but I hope people enjoy it.
Bennett Mercy.
Hey, McGee, what a surprise. Benny Mercy. Yeah, I'll update the percentage. There we go. Actually, quite a quiet opening hour today, so we'll see if things boost along. I really appreciate it, McGee. That's amazing. Can we get McGee some love in the chat? Thank you very, very much. I was actually impressed by the work they've done so far. Is that not something much better to focus upon, by the way? That's a really important point. Today, the overall reception so far of people talk about it when they shouldn't be because of leaks and stuff, which is really annoying. The overall reception so far is that Labs has been good and that people are very, very encouraged by the next Battlefield and what they've seen and what they've heard. And the right things seem to be being said by the developers and everything seems to be on a good path. Why are we now taking actual first-hand experience and chucking it out the window? We're going, oh, people are actually experiencing part of the product and they are positive about it, but suddenly within the span of a day we're ignoring that and we're going, oh, there's an article from some guy with unnamed sources. Again, I understand why they're unnamed, but this article from some guy with unnamed sources, with a lot of it being former devs that might be disgruntled, and with the topics being very, very slanted, says that things are bad. So, therefore, I'm now really, really heavily panicked. Does that provide a little bit of clarity as to where I'm coming from with this? Bassetti, you having a good one, man, by the way. Thanks for tuning in. Umbigi's Benny Mercy will happen next round. Thank you, Umbigi. People update and complain. I agree. This is what I'm saying. I agree. I agree. I think we're getting way ahead of ourselves because of articles and leaks. I really do. Way ahead of ourselves. I don't think now is the time to form particularly strong opinions. We've seen stuff like this come out before about a vast amount of games. And is it sometimes accurate in the end? Yes. And is it sometimes completely inaccurate and misleading? Absolutely. But we forget about it. Once the game's out, we forget about the week or the 2-week period when people are talking about this. And we just then focus upon the reality of what's happened. People can't be hopeful for the progress made when there is a smidge of criticism. Yeah, and look, part of this is because things have not gone well for Battlefield for the past, you know, like say half a decade. It's understandable. But that's why I'm trying to provide a bit of clarity. You have to treat the games in isolation during this period. If the next one comes out and it's a huge disappointment, then yes, you tack it onto BF5 and BF 2042 and you therefore complain about it all as a bunch. In that circumstance, that's completely understandable. But beforehand, when it's almost completely different people working on it, and the article even focuses upon, well, actually, sorry, this is part of the problem. The article mentions but doesn't focus upon that apparently everyone asked was still really hopeful that the new game is going to do really well. and that they're trying to change the culture over there, which was a huge problem before. But that's not being discussed. That for me is way more important, but there's seemingly no focus upon that. Nothing. I think that's far more indicative of what we can hope to receive. But again, people are gonna people. I understand why there's negativity with how the last two have gone, but I think if I can look at it with an open mind and throw away the points that seemingly are unimportant but are good clickable headlines, and try and have some openness and positivity, I don't see why other people can't at least try to do that as well. Oh, McGee, thank you for the $1.49 via Super Chat. I have not recalculated the percentage, but let me just put this on the screen and I'll do it afterwards. We're maybe hitting about 10%. I'll put 9. We'll calculate after. We'll see if we have a banger second half of the stream. Let me just go and shut off the aircon. It's getting a little bit cold. And I will do McGee's Benny Mercy. Lots of love for McGee with the latest support, please, everybody. Up against it early on for a good one, but we'll see. We've been surprised before. Excuse me, we'll play. Hi, Simon. I will show it in a little while, mate, and we'll talk about it more so. Right, Benny Mercy for McGee. Did you say which one? No, just any of them. You love this gun? I really don't. So we'll see how I get on. Special bonus reward today for anyone that ends up being the choosing pal of the day or provides the larger donos. I will call you really cool. Wow. Yep. Really cool. I'll do it in either English or Japanese. You can pick.
We have taken objective Edward.
I just dropped out of the sky to his death. Ty, thank you for the subscription, mate. Welcome to the community. You having a good day? What's your favourite support weapon? At the minute, if I had to choose one, I'd probably pick the LMG-8/18. But if you want to see what I said in January for all the classes, I made a video on it, mate. If you go to my channel page. My BF1 assault picks for the year. According to me, and only me. You're the coolest, you hit the like button. Thanks, man. Oh, you got the Peacekeeper? Sweet, dude. Oh, but in the double damage server? Dude, yeah, the Peacekeeper would probably absolutely wreck in double damage. Does it kill in one shot in double damage server, or does it need 2? Is that a guy? I can't see what I'm looking at. Oh, it's a vehicle. Dude, that was super whited out over there. Played some BF5 the other day and had fun. Oh, good. I'm glad you enjoyed it, man. Damage? Damage? Thank you. It does, and it's a long one-shot range. Dude, that's crazy. Yeah, the Peacekeeper would be insane then if it's one-shotting people through the body in a double damage server. Right, big shout out on McGee for the latest support, everybody. Oh, it looks like being a spawn trap.
We have lost objective apples.
Guess we better go on a run on one of the worst maps.
We have taken objective butter. We have lost objective Freddy.
Hedefi müdafaa ediyoruz. Yukarı bakın. Tayyare. Bir düşman hücum kıtası askeri var.
Need Uber on this map. Yes, indeed. Yes, we do.
We have lost objective Duff.
Oh, we lost Dean. I've just got up here.
Burton Round.
Hey, McGee. Big McGee to love in the chat. More support from McGee. 2 in a row. They call McGee 2 in a row. That's actually a really cool nickname. Thank you, McGee, for the 13. McGee now choosing Proud of the Day. Thank you, McGee. You're cool. Actually, McGee, do you want me to say it in English or Japanese? If you replace McGee as the Chieftain Proud of the Day, you get to pick whether I call you cool in English or Japanese. I just got down. Oh no, no, they're still got it. They're still got it.
Hedef şu. Ele geçirin.
Burton next round for McGee. What did I just hear? Was that a parachute? Where's this coming from? Am I stupid?
Lost objective Edward.
What was happening? I'm sure that was unbelievably confusing.
Taken objective Freddy.
I'm not convinced any of that made sense in terms of the direction of the damage. I'm trying to install an early access game for my kid, but I keep getting Microsoft Visual C++ errors, and I get the same error when I try and install the latest version from Windows. Well, that's rough, dude. I can't give you any indication of what's going on there. I hope you want to source it out. That sounds like minus levels of fun.
Yaralıyım, yardıma ihtiyacım var.
Very weak.
Sıhhiyeci. Bomba atıyorum. Hazır olun.
No worries, Lippity Corporal. Catch when you get back. This song is a drag.
Şu Allah'ın belası hedefi ele geçirin.
Again, thanks for any fresh subs today, guys. Any follows, etc. Thanks for the likes on YouTube, for the algorithm, which obviously we need help with these days. Appreciate it. And thanks again for the support. McGee, Hunted. Sorry, I just realised you said Hunted Giverer earlier. That's great, mate. Hunted, McGee, and Dean with the support today. As we hunt down a solid performance. This is the 4th day of the week. We had 2, what can only be described as abysmal days. Then we had a mega day yesterday. So it brings us back to an even level. We'll see how we go today. I hope you guys are having fun so far. God damn it. Yes, medic, thank you. Hold on. Hi, Kid Lewis, you lurk away, my dude, no problem. I need my David fix soon. Where's David? Where's David and the Midas? I wonder if they're both having holidays at the moment. Holiday, David, the Midas, Bill. We've had a week where we've not seen many of the members. Regulars, sorry. People are having a busy week doing other things that aren't watching Battlefield, which I think is sacrilege, to be honest. How dare they live their lives? But did I just hear something up here, or was that just weird sound directionality? Yeah, no, just weird sound.
We have lost objective Duff.
Hedefi ele geçirin.
Okay, there's people fighting over at D.
Hücum kıtası askeri.
Not the best moment of my life.
Şu Allah'ın belası hedefi ele geçirin. Hedef şu. Ele geçirin.
I've arrived. I've killed. Have that. I've resupplied. I've been shot.
Mühimmatı al.
Thank you, teammate.
We have lost objective Charlie.
Aha biraz mühimmat.
We have lost objective apples. We have taken objective Charlie.
Okay, do we head back over and try and get this guy? I drove... Oh, hold on. I hear footsteps.
Bir sıhhiyeci görüyorum.
I drove from Tampa to Tuscaloosa, to Tuscaloosa to visit family for the week. Alabama has beautiful scenery. How far is that, approximately? Okay. Fabulous. I know that's going to be full of that clan. Oh my god, the choices. Fantastic. Hold on, was this the same... I don't know if this was the same lobby and it's about to just die. I have no idea. That was good. Pleased with that. Oh, let's get a proper percentage for the day then, shall we? Find out what we're on. See what heady height we've reached. I think we're having a rough one. Let's find out. Paralysis of choice. I know, all such good options, right? Where are we? Here we go. Let's have a check. 17%. 17% for the day, which actually, this might be a surprise. That's actually the second best day of the week already. Believe it or not. So, get that in there. It's been one hell of a week, everybody. Thank you very much, McGee, Dean, and Hunted. Let me get everything back on the screen that I need again after that debacle. That should now be on the screen for you guys on YouTube and Twitch and wherever. I have an open battle pack. Yeah, dude, I got loads. It takes ages. I can't be bothered. It takes a long time, and I never get anything new, so I just leave them. It just sits there. Did the stream almost die just then? Did freeze for a moment? Oh, did it really? Oh yeah, I got some drop frames. Oh, maybe it was. Maybe I was the problem. Maybe that is why I got kicked out. So I had, I think I'm getting power flickers. Oh, sorry, Mon. Yes, I counted yours as well, mate. Sorry, my bad, pal. Mon, yours isn't in my mini feed for some reason, but it will have gone into the total. So yes, it will count, mate. It will be part of the total as well, pal. You're just not in the mini feed today for some reason, because I don't know, technology doesn't want to work. But with that in mind, everybody. Yeah, I think I'm getting power flickers today for some reason. I think that's... I noticed one in the bathroom this morning, so I don't know if it just dropped for a split second. Anyway, that's probably why I got kicked out. Hi Baz. Well, don't worry, I'll be talking about it properly in a little bit. We'll pull the article rather up, but I need to play a bit more. It's a normal day for me, and I got to try and hit some totals and stuff for sustainability. But we'll talk about it properly in a bit. Oh, where's this dude? Damn it. Did he die? Is no one going to pick this up? All right. Oh, I'm McGee. Sorry about your challenge. I just remembered as I was picking it up. Sorry about this. Wow, weak. I will be doing the Burton next round, by the way, everybody. McGee. And then if we get another challenge, I'll do it after that. Thanks very much. No queue after that. McGee with 2 challenges in a row, helping us get to 17% of the goal.
We have taken objective butter.
Yeah, sorry about that, Mon. Of course. I appreciate your support very much. I just, like I say, friggin' mini feed doesn't always include everything. Oh, we're gifted. Thank you. That might be the first gifted of the month. I could be wrong, but that might be the first gifted of the month. Thank you very much, McGee. Potentially our chief membership gifter of the month, as well as chief stream power of the day so far. Congrats to Brown. Brown got the membership. Yeah, thanks to McGee. No, right? No, you just have to play the game, pal, to rank stuff up. There's no like cheesy way to do it. Bruh, I wish I could land some damage. Yay, finally. Didn't know this window was from the outside. There you go, you're learning, the more you know. You're welcome.
objective butter.
Sure, I just heard a footstep. There seems to be noise from everywhere.
Düşman hücum kıtası askeri.
Whoa, what did I just watch down there? Yeah, a lot of rounds are not really connecting.
We have lost objective apples.
Please, thank you.
Hedefi müdafaa ediyoruz. Fazla mühimmatı olan mevcut mu?
We have taken objective Duff.
No, lie down.
We have lost objective George.
I don't see anything.
Bir sıhhiyeci görüyorum.
Oh,
Sarma treni.
well, that's not good.
Düşman hücum kıtası askeri. Hedefin savunulması lazım.
I'm not quite sure what to do here.
We have taken objective George.
Hey, McGee with another 5. Thank you, McGee. McGee stacking up challenges. Lots of love for McGee, please, everybody. It's a lean day, which means we put extra thanks through for the support, don't we, everyone? Lots of love, please. Lots of love for the support. Thank you. McGee still cheating part of the day. McGee, you want the message in English or Japanese? Or neither? Do you not wish to be called cool? If so, that's fine. We can just leave you be. Loving BF1 and loving the stream. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Are you well, Borkworth? Neither. Okay. The McGee's so effortlessly cool that we don't even have to say it. Does that count as saying it? Probably does. Did you know, guys, that your phones are like to be 10 times dirtier than a toilet seat? It's empirically proven. Well, that's rough. So what, clean it with alcohol wipes every now and again or something?
We are losing objective Charlie.
Hi, Kungs. Yes, I did. It's what we've been talking about today. I will be talking about it properly in a little while after I've played a bit more. Welcome to the stream. You having a good day?
We have lost objective Charlie.
Remember, I got kicked out of the lobby and had to rejoin everybody.
Bakın.
LaPaul, watch the YouTube stream. You having a good day, mate?
Yaralarımı
Chase me, chase me. Come here. Where you gone? Hello, mate. I'm real weak now.
yaralıyım. Sıhhiyeciye ihtiyacım var.
Yes. Ah, thank you. You burn your feet from the sun? Oh, rough, dude. How so? What were you doing? Just chilling outside? Oh, there you go then. Thank you very much for the info, Le Petit Corporal. Oh, well, thank you, McGee. Very kind.
We have lost objective apples.
You went to the beach and you walked 30 minutes. Oh, okay, that makes sense.
We have lost.
Like you burnt the soles of your feet or the tops of your feet?
Tespit edildi.
The top. Dude, sunscreen, man. Sunscreen. You gotta look after your skin, bro. Sunscreen next time. Next time you're gonna go out in the sun, think of me and think that I said you gotta put sunscreen on. Think about how disappointed I'd be if you don't do it. It was too late. Yeah, dude, you got a plan. It's all good. Now you learnt your lesson. Now you'll never do it again, right?
We have taken objective butter.
Onu gördünüz mü? Üstüme saçtı. Düşman gözcüsü. Orada bir gözcü var. Onlarınkilerden biri.
It would have been good. The swollen and red. Well, I hope to feel better soon, dude. Alright, we rejoined the lobby and went 9-0. I'd honestly rather play Monty Grappa than Rupture. Right, you want a Burton round on McGee. We can do that. We can do that. Let me get a new percentage for the day. Thank you again on McGee. I mean, we're not going to get it today, it looks like. So we'll see if we can get to like... What would I take today after yesterday? Should we say half? 50% would see me leaving like a relatively good mood, I would say. We'll see if we can get 50% a goal today. That's be our mini aim for the day. We won't rejoice, but we'll be like, okay, that's cool. That's what we'll do if we get it. We'll go, okay, that's cool. In that voice. Okay, that's cool. Right? Everyone can get on board with that, yeah? Okay, that's cool. If you try and mimic that at home for me, see if you can replicate it. There you go, saved up. I just need to put the aircon back on now because now I'm too hot. I can't win. Graceful. And a quick drink if you don't mind. Thank you for your patience. Oh, okay. Got a random hair in my mouth. Okay, Burton. Burton. Where are you? If it's beer, no. Afraid not, mate. It's water. I'm hydrating. I don't really drink. I very, very, very seldom drink. As in drink alcohol.
Objective Edward.
Where's this map supposed to be? Italy. Where's this map supposed to be in Italy? In Italy. Oh my god, I can't read. In Italy. Geographically north or south? I actually don't know. Which end of Italy is near Switzerland? I assume it's towards that end, right? North. There we go. North near Austria. Alright, there we go. Good info. Thank you, guys. I need to actually move the aircon in a minute. It's hit him in the eyes. Hit me right in the eyes. Right in the old peepers. Right in the terrible eyesight. Do you agree that portable spots is allowed to increase stats? Just found this out and it's baffling that it's okay to do. No, it should have been separate. The code should have handled it separately. Yeah, I don't like that. It basically invalidates that as a stat, doesn't it? But no, I think it's wrong that that works that way.
Erobert das Ziel dort. Hier, Munition.
Ah, they have the sentry. Oh, I knew that was coming. Remember, if you enjoy this, thank McGee for it.
Hier, ich habe ein bisschen Munition übrig.
Hey Rexio, I've read the article. I'll talk about it more in a little while. Welcome to the stream.
Hier ist Munition. Ich werfe eine Granate auf. Maschinengewehr gesichtet.
Bloody hell, what damage? This map's like 4-hour drive from where I live. Oh, cool, man, that's awesome. Oh, the sentry. Everyone shoot them together.
We have lost objective Edward.
Oh my god, that is a wild spawn. It's alright, Dale, welcome back, mate. Oh, this map, mate. This map, huh?
Feindliches Flugzeug.
We have taken objective Charlie.
Verteidigt das Ziel. Flugzeug, seht ihr das?
Come on, damage. One bullet? Okay. Yeah, really picturesque part of the world, isn't it? Very nice.
We are losing objective Duff.
Used the button to unlock the Parabellum. Oh, nice. So you enjoying the Parabellum? Have you used it yet? Yay! I really do wish the fortress guns weren't on this map. I gotta move this aircon. I'm freezing. What's going on? Give me a second.
We have lost objective Charlie.
Whoa. Sorry, I can't get the temperature how I want it at all. I'm either too hot or too cold. Hell of a spawn again.
Wir dürfen das Ziel nicht verlieren. Verteidigt es.
Do the incendiary rounds do more damage to the sentry? No, not that I'm aware of, mate. Just for vehicles, because basically the planes are made out of wood. That's the logic behind it. Or they have wooden parts, wooden aspects to them. I think that's what they're going for. Either have wooden parts, some of it, or just very, very light. Oh my god. Oh, Jesus Christ. Or very, very thin components, something like that. So it doesn't do anything to the sentries, doesn't do anything. I hate this map. Doesn't do anything to the sentries, doesn't do anything to the land vehicles.
We are losing objective Edward.
Absolute garbage map experience.
Verteidigen.
What now, bro? Jesus Christ. You've not played BF1 in a long time? Ah. That's fair enough, pal.
We have lost
Understandable.
objective Edward.
McGee's powered the last quarter an hour of the stream, everybody. Actually, McGee's,
Objective apples.
if we put together all, McGee's powered the last 45 minutes of the stream. Thank you, McGee. An uninterrupted stretch of support from McGee there. Jesus. Syllables, right?
Verteidigt das Ziel bis zum letzten Mann.
Who needs them?
Wir müssen dieses Ziel jeden Preis halten.
We have taken objective Edward.
Yeah, I saw, Jack, that it's actually getting some proper traction now, which is great.
Das ist ein feindlicher Sturmsoldat.
It looked like it was dead in the water, and it's recovered.
Ich werfe eine Granate.
I think, ironically, the well, not ironic really, actually, but the whole Pirate Software thing was part of it starting to die out because of his coverage and how many people it reached. And now that public opinion is turning, and there's lots of videos being made about how he was wrong and didn't understand it, it's put the initiative back in the spotlight again, which is cool. It was at 980k 2 hours ago. Oh, nice. And didn't they initially need 200k or 500k or something? We need over 1 million now due to invalid signatures. Oh, right, okay. How come? What about them are invalid? They're like people doing like duplicates, or? I can't think of anything else. Fake names, maybe, stuff like that.
Hat jemand Munition? Munition, zu mir! Ich brauche Munition, Beeilung! Das Ziel dort erobern!
Make sure we get the points for this cap actually before we leave. I got a habit of doing that, going, right, problem solved, I'm going to go, and then I don't get the points and I finish way down the board. May as well stand there and get the points, shouldn't I? You always 1 mil, but with these petitions common for a lot of signatures to be found to be invalid, VPNs, fake emails, so they want more than 1 mil, so it succeeds anyway. Okay, that makes sense. Hi, Oblivion. Yeah, it's real sad news this morning about Diogo Jota. Wish some more of those rounds connected with that guy.
Return to the combat area.
About halfway through the stream, everybody, if I'm going to do a full one. Looks like we're not going to do the short one today, so we'll just, we'll try and get to the normal time.
Objective Charlie.
Enemy team! Fight! Fight! Speer gesichtet!
Halfway there, the enemy has the upper hand.
And that's why I don't like the map. Or part of why. Right, what am I doing? Hewott. Hewott after this.
Munition, greif zu! Wir müssen das Ziel erobern!
We have taken objective apples.
Das Ziel verteidigen!
We are losing objective Duff.
Seht ihr das? Ein feindlicher Panzer!
I'm sure someone was following me. Maybe they died.
Lost objective Duff.
I don't know. Not gonna go and find out. I think there's still a tank up there anyway. Oh my god, it bounced off him to where I went to stand.
Hier, Munition für dich! Braucht jemand Munition?
Welcome back, Rocco.
Vorsicht jetzt! Sturmsoldat! Jetzt Granate! Feindliches MG gesichtet! Verteidigt das Ziel!
We have taken objective Duff.
You should have been dead. At least he died to the next guy. Bro, the damage doesn't be doing the damage things.
We are losing objective Duff. We have lost objective Duff.
Erobert das verdammte Ziel.
Oh, it's still there. No, it's still there. It's still there. It's still there. Now, got any news or anything then? It's all gone a bit dead, hasn't it? This is where the boredom kicks in for me. If you've got anything to share, go for it. And again, make sure you make a huge deal out of any support or whatever, everybody. As we return to the norm today after yesterday and get back to the very slow existence of BF streaming. So, yeah, make a big deal out of anything. Thanks for tuning in so far.
Feindlicher Soldat, vorsichtig.
We are losing objective Charlie.
Oh, they're both ways. The weather is hot. Hopefully you'll manage to stay cool, Tina. Yeah, oh, way too many there for me to deal with. Oh, gifted from McGee. McGee continues the uninterrupted streak of support.
You just entered the membership collective. Hooray for being 10% cool, yeah!
Can we get some love in the chat, please, from McGee? And congratulations to Jesse on the gifted membership. Thank you very much. Appreciate it, McGee.
Ziel dort.
Lots of emojis from McGee. Again, very slow day, everybody. So big love from McGee. Emojis and oh, thanks and stuff in the in the chat. You have to write ooh. Okay, otherwise it doesn't count. Ooh. Are you brother?
Verteidigt das Ziel.
This round's taking ages, man. Thank you for the emojis, Dale. Can't really get out with that tank there.
We have an airship en route.
Yeah, man. Such a fun map experience, this one. So good. I love how you can't go anywhere. That's my favorite thing. Do you like the BAR support weapon? In the right situation, yeah.
Our airship has arrived.
Wir verteidigen das Ziel bis zum letzten Mann. Ist da noch Platz? Aufpassen, Maschinengewehr!
You like the Lewis gun? Yeah, the Lewis gun's one I enjoy.
Da drüben, feindlicher Speer!
Big old jump. Big old getting shot from wherever. Damage, please. Nearly didn't work.
Hier, frische Munition!
There you go, mate.
Hier, Munition! Erobert das Ziel!
Here he comes. What the hell was that, bro?
Ich brauche sofort einen Sanitäter! Kann mich mal jemand zusammenflicken?
Deal with the medic.
Objective Charlie.
Frische Munition!
God knows, Dale, mate. God knows, pal. It's a mystery to me also. Hey, what's up, Demetis? No. No. How are you, man? How you been? I haven't seen you around this week. What you been up to, pal? Any news for us?
Flugzeug gesichtet!
Thank God this round's nearly done.
Wir müssen das Ziel erobern! Nimmst du mich mit? Los, nimm mich mit!
Brother,
Brauchen Taxi!
can you die?
Hey, nimm mich mit! Lass mich mitfahren, ja?
Thank you. Oh. For God's sake. Plus on vacations tend to be real busy keeping the other three guys on track. Gotcha. How do you find that? Good? Because it passes the time, or bad because it's more to do? Or just
Das Ziel darf
indifferent?
nicht fallen! Verteidigt es! Feindliches Maschinengewehr! Verteidigt das Ziel bis zum letzten Mann!
I'm just bored of dying from random places with no cover to utilize, to be honest with you. Not very fun. Right, Hugh up next round for McGee, and I'll recalculate the goal as well. Well, you must be doing something right, the Midas. At least there's that.
Das Ziel da! Erobern!
You see 2% daily goal yesterday. We got just shy of 300 yesterday, which was amazing. And very, 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 very welcome. Because the 3 days before that were was the worst 3-day stretch I think I've had ever streaming. I think it was 8%, 9%, and 13% or something like that. The 300% yesterday basically brought it back level, like to an average. So today we're sort of starting from par again. Unfortunately today we're back to the whole, oh god, things are tricky, but it's just, Okay, what can you do? Sort of deal, right? I just don't have any control, so
Your location.
you know the deal, man. You know the deal. But yeah, we had a good day yesterday, which was nice. Shout out Ariosto. What a champ. What a champ. And we did some Elden Ring, which was fun, dude. It was fun to play a game that's fun. I enjoyed it. I don't really want to take this on a challenge, but I don't want the end. Oh, it's over anyway. I mean, I came top, but it was a horrible round. Right, McGee, thank you for the challenge. I'll do your next one now. You got your pool to be clear. Hey, congrats, man. Happy for you. I'm realizing I wasn't adding on the memberships. So I think we're probably on about 22 with McGee's dono as well. I think we're at about 22% of goal. So thank you, McGee. McGee with like an hour-long stretch of uninterrupted support. Thank you very, very much. You missed the Elden Ring? Yeah, I did it on the second channel because obviously I got to try and maintain the health of this one as best I can with things how they are at the minute. So yeah, we threw it up on the second channel, mate. It was good. It was cool. We went back to the Mike Tyson run.
Arabella.
Bloody hell, McGee. Thank you, McGee. Right, Hugh up, Parabellum, and then I should probably pull up the article to actually go through it properly, I guess. So, any more challenges, if they could stack with the ones that we've got to do already, that would be super mega helpful. Don't know how we're going to make any progress day towards a decent percentage, but if we do, immense. And yeah, we'll just see if we can stack them up or something. Thank you, McGee. Can we get McGee some more love in the chat? Pew, 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 pew. You are Parabellum article. That's the plan. And I need to not talk for too long because I'm supposed to be doing a short stream today. Got things to go and do, but that's now not happening because circumstances. I need to make sure I don't talk for too long after these games. I need to go. Need to go. Been a bit of a mess of a day with how this morning was. Here we go. Is your day going alright, Tommy? I don't know if I asked you earlier. Thanks for being here, mate. Thank you for using Streamlabs on McGee. I'm no good at Souls games, way too difficult. It's one of those things, right? The difficulty is baked in. You have to adapt and improve your skill set, and it's just, you know, that experience just isn't going to be for everyone. If you don't enjoy it, you don't enjoy it. So you don't force yourself. Not everything's for everyone. I find sometimes people are like, oh, Souls games are really hard. And people are like, oh, you just have to get good. It's like, well, yeah, they do, but they don't have to. Like, if they're not having fun, they're not having fun. Not everyone enjoys the same sort of experience. I love that my potential streak got ended by an artillery truck sitting across the map. That's really cool. Big fan. What the hell was that? Did Dale just type money in the chat? Is that like a demand, a request, an offer? Oh, you're trying to do... Oh, I see what you're trying to do. I see what you're trying to do. You're trying to do the emojis. That makes sense. I'll have Bloodborne on your to playlist. Yeah, Bloodborne's supposed to be really cool. Haven't played it. The only Souls game I've ever played through is Elden Ring. It gets so little time to play games anymore. Me too, but only in my, like, spare time. Obviously, I have to play them a lot for work. So kind of the same, but also very different. Right, mini goal for the day, everybody, 50%. And we'll see if we can get back to the bigs tomorrow. That's not a sentence. The bigs. Yeah, why not? Get back to the bigs tomorrow. That's words. Oh, spawn trap on this map. That's going to be fun. It was an accident. It's all good, Dale. No worries, mate.
Wir verteidigen.
Did he crash that? Or did he jump out? I have no idea. Mars, welcome to the stream. Thanks for tuning in. I mean, I can ask people to donate. No, thanks for the offer, Dale. I appreciate it. Very kind. That's a shame. I think I shot first by about 2 rounds, but ping, right? My ping, his ping, who knows? Play tabletop RPGs weekly. That sounds fun, dude.
Wir müssen das Ziel erobern. Das ist ein Panzer. Aufpassen!
Bang! And the truck is gone. His name was Your Balls. Good times. My team's getting ruined, yeah. Hello, Oscar. I've been through it a lot already, and I'm going to go through the article properly after a round after this one. So this round and another round, then I'll go through it properly. So if you're around then, we'll go through it, mate. Welcome to the stream. You having a good day? Thanks for tuning in. This round's going to be really quick, because we've got no flags.
The enemy controls.
Again, make a massive deal out of any support or challenges or whatever. And thank you for tuning in, everyone. Hope you're having fun. Thanks for any likes. Helping with the algorithm on YouTube. Thanks for your subs and follows. Lol, what a great round. Yeah. Yes. Oh, good. That's great, Dale. I'm glad you enjoyed doing it, mate. Yeah, hopefully tomorrow can be a good day. You know, the usual stuff. I gotta just try and... I don't know, I'm just saying words at this point. You know the deal. Try and just hold it all in. We'll try and make the best of it. Hope things eventually... I feel like I've been saying... hope things will return to the norm. I've been saying for about 6 or 7 months now. But hopefully things will return to the norm eventually, and stress levels can drop back down. But until then, I'm just going to keep grinding my actual brains out. Try and make the best of it. Each and every day. I appreciate you guys being a part of it as... man, as I continue with this venture.
Feindlicher Speer gesichtet.
We have taken objective George. Our dreadnought has arrived.
Das wird schwer.
That's stupid. Oh, I was just about to move as well. Yeah, I'm fun. Hell yeah, Dale. That's what we're aiming for, mate. Appreciate it.
We have taken objective.
Azza, thank you for the Twitch follow. Welcome to the community over there, mate. I appreciate that, man. Thank you very much. A revive for me there. What a round. Oh, excellent, dude. Excellent. Yeah. Oh, yeah. How fun does this look? I bet it looks like so much fun. I love playing big open maps, getting crushed and dying to vehicles and stuff. It's my favorite thing. I turn up every day. Have a run over there, shall we? See if we die on the way.
We are losing objective George. Halfway there, the enemy has the upper hand.
Sorry for dominating chat. No, I mean, it's not your fault, Dale. There's just nothing happening, pal. I appreciate you talking, mate.
Maschinengewehr, eindeutig
We
feindlich.
have taken objective Freddy.
This is how it is at the minute, man. This is how the days be going a lot of the time.
Munition, hier.
Thanks, Monkey. How am I doing? Ah, you know. My best. How are you, man? You having a good day?
Wir müssen das Ziel erobern.
Happy Thursday, dude.
Aufpassen, Maschinengewehr.
Have fun dying to vehicles. Yeah.
We have taken
Thank you, McGee, for the $1. Have fun dying to vehicles. Yay. Yeah, it's great, right? Oh, the sincerity. Oh, yay. We get McGee some emojis in the chat, please. McGee continues the uninterrupted streak of support. Thank you, McGee. Yay, vehicles, yay.
We have lost objective Freddy.
Oh, really, Monkey Man? What's the well, you don't have to tell us if you don't want to, but what's causing the pain?
A flame trooper kit is available near your location.
Aufpassen, ein Speer.
Best medic weapon in Battlefield 1. My favorite medic weapon, the one that works best for me, is the Fedorov Avtomat Optical. But if you want, mate, if you pull up my video from January, I went through my top guns in BF1 for the year according to my opinion and experience. Oh.
We have taken objective Duff.
Thank you, teammate. Was hit by an F-150. What?
Taken objective Freddy.
How? Oh, mate, it's a constant battle, the Midas. Bots at this point online. Everywhere, mate. In all the different chats.
We have lost objective Duff.
Sweet, dude. I hope you'll enjoy the video. Thank you, man.
We have taken objective apples.
When 83 ping meets 135 ping. Random stuff happens.
Verteidigt das Ziel.
Bruh. Right, if I'm going to read this article out, I get this round to be finished, and then hopefully the next round's really quick. This round's going on a lot longer than it looked like it was going to go on for. At one stage.
Darf ich bei dir mitfahren? Ist da noch Platz?
Trucks just be hitting us. Well, yeah, that's life, right? You set up a remote desktop on your friend's computer and you're subtly messing with them. Dude, what? What? That hurt me? Get out of town, bro. Had to get new cargo pants they ripped when you fell. I feel like that's the least of your worries.
Feindliches Flugzeug!
We have lost objective Apple.
I'll keep it in mind, Monkey Man. Thank you, dude. God, I'm having just the best experience. What we live for.
Haltet dieses Ziel!
We have taken objective.
They were a gift from your brother. Well, that sucks.
Das Ziel da! Erobern!
It's unfortunate, mate.
Hier, ich habe ein bisschen Munition übrig.
I just hear shots from everywhere.
Munition, greif zu! Sturmsoldat!
Bro! Oh, this game will be the death of me, man. Absolutely zero integrity to the gunfights anymore. Like, it really is pretty much at the zero. Very saddening. Very saddening, my guys, showing up every day to deal with this bullshit and desperately trying to hit some goals. Fucking sucks, man, to be completely honest with you. Really sucks. Really, really sucks.
Wir dürfen das Ziel nicht verlieren, verteidigt es!
Sucks mega big time. Mega big time suckage. We're going on a little walk down by the beach, I reckon. Off we go. Should I save money or take a loan out to buy a tungsten brick? Or why do you want a tungsten brick? McGee with another gifted. McGee, this is one hell of a streak of just you supporting. Jesus Christ. We get McGee to love in the chat. Bloody hell. I don't know how many bits of support in a row that is, McGee. But it's a lot. I reckon you've got to be on 7 or 8 in a row. Come on! 7 or 8 in a row. Thank you, McGee. Emojis for McGee, please, everyone.
taken objective Edward.
Oh, good monkey man. Thank you, mate. I appreciate it. I will keep my fingers crossed, dude. Enjoy the rest of your day, mate. I'll catch you whenever. All the best, pal.
Erobert dieses Ziel.
It's a lot in a row, McGee. It really is. Thank you. I mean, to put it into perspective, the previous support before yours was somewhere between an hour and a half, an hour and 45 minutes ago.
Objective Duff.
So you have done the whole streak between then and now. So thank you very, very much.
Wir müssen das Ziel jeden Preis halten.
Okay.
Ich hatte Welt,
Another one dropped to the right. I think we're good. Hey, Tony's back. Say thanks to the gifted. Good work, Tony. Welcome back to the membership collective, Tony.
Nächste Granate.
Oh, it's our guy? Oh, I should have looked at the minimap. Thank you for the W for on McGee before you leave, Monkey Man. Good work. You never left. Oh. Thanks for still being here, Tony. Working and lurking. I hope the work's going alright, dude.
Hat jemand Munition bestellt?
We have lost objective Edward.
Frische Munition. Wir verteidigen das Ziel bis zum letzten Mann.
Is that a lot hunted?
Taken objective Charlie.
At least you seem to have got to the bottom of it, mate. That is the one positive.
We have lost objective Charlie.
Erobert das Ziel.
We have lost objective George.
True hunters, are you able to find like any guides or anything on how to do it that you can work through whilst you try and go through that undertaking? Yeah, we can't have a disappointed child, right? The hell? I'm looking.
We have taken
I don't
objective
know.
George.
Oh. Alright.
We have taken objective Butter.
Alright. Bloody hell, this round's taking so much longer than it looked like it was going to. I don't think I'm going to be able to like actually read through the... I don't think I'm going to have time. We might have to actually properly go through the article tomorrow, and I probably should have done it like at the start of the stream rather than at the end. This round's taking way longer than it looked like it was going to take. And yet it feels like they've completely dominated us. So it's like, what, even bigger waste of time. That's fair enough, Scatters. At least you've done it now and you don't have to wonder about it. What a fucking terrible round, dude. These are the sorts of rounds that I really do not like. Just feels like a random death from everywhere. Can I please climb the thing? I'm having massive issues with the mantling here. Quick, kids. Come here. GetGood's getting sick of the game again. Yeah, our favorite point of the stream. Thank you. Oh, excellent choices. I'm so lucky. Appreciate the challenge on McGee. Let's do the Parabellum. And we'll probably call it Quitsies. Oh, Kevin, that's rough, mate. Sorry to hear that, dude. Nice to see you, man. I'm sorry you're having a struggle, mate. I hope things level out for you somehow at some point, my man. Appreciate you tuning in, mate. Sorry it's on rough terms. We get to 27% of the goal. Let me throw it on the screen. Thank you, McGee. Oh, so pleased we had a big day yesterday. If we had another slow one yesterday, I think I would have been in friggin' bits right now. Very, very thankful for that one yesterday. Very, very cool, very kind. Right, Parabellum time. Can read the article instead, do the gun whenever. I'm trying to think. Well, are you here tomorrow, McGee? Because I can do the Parabellum tomorrow if you want. And then read the article now, and then it's still part of this stream that's titled as being about it. Would that work for you? Would that be okay? If you're happy with that. That might be the... If so, yeah, let's do that. That might be the best way. Otherwise, we don't go through the thing that people might be expecting to be in the stream if they watch it as a VOD. And then I'll do it tomorrow. You can remind me tomorrow, McGee. Yeah, make sure you do. Is that alright? Thank you for being the Cheating Pie of the Day as well. Really appreciate it. Let me take these earphones out. Let me set up the screen how I need it, if I'm going to do that. No, understandable, Kevin, mate. I'm sorry it sucks, dude. I really am, man. There's nothing, obviously there's nothing I can offer, just other than I wish you all the best, mate, and I hope things turn out alright for you, pal. Sorry, my guy. I know it's not much. I really hope for the best for you, man. Right, should we read this? Is that working? Yeah. Let's throw this up here so that I can see what you're saying and it's on the screen for you. Did you update on the BF6 news? It's alright, we're going to go through it now. So, this is what we're doing for the end of the stream, everybody. Thank you for the support today. We do have another low one today, but hopefully tomorrow will be good and we can sort of like keep things on track. I appreciate you watching. Thank you for your likes, subs, follows, all that jazz. We're going to go through this article now. We'll go through it in stages, and I'll try not to take too long because I am supposed to be going soon. Oh my god. You see what I mean about it's overly fleshed out? Anyway. We'll go through it now in stages. I'm not going to be able to scroll. Oh, yes, I can. And I'll tell you why I'm coming at it from a perspective of someone that's not as concerned about it as most people. It doesn't mean that it's all completely invalid. It also means that I don't think all of it is entirely valid / is being presented in somewhat bad faith, let's say. Let me turn the music. I'm going to turn the music off while I do this. Or I might just turn it down. What was I on? 12? Let's set it down to 5. Someone remind me to put that back to 12. Right. So, do I need this? Yeah, I need to read this as well. All right, we're going to read it in the stages, and I'll give you my feedback for each stage. I think a lot of this actually isn't necessary. There might be bits I skip, because it's like they're just trying to hit a certain word count. So, are you ready for me to flub my words a lot? It's been 23 years since the first Battlefield game, and the video game industry is nearly unrecognizable to anyone who was immersed in it then. Many people who loved the games of that era have since become frustrated with where AAA big budget games have ended up. Today, publisher EA is in full production on the next Battlefield title, but sources close to the project say it has faced cultural clashes, ballooning budgets, and major disruptions that have left many team members fearful that parts of the game will not be finished to player satisfaction in time for launch during EA's fiscal year. They also say the company has made major structural and cultural changes to how Battlefield games are created to ensure it can release titles of unprecedented scope and scale. This is all to compete with incumbents like the Call of Duty games and Fortnite, even though no prior Battlefield has achieved anywhere close to that level of popular and commercial success. I spoke with the current and former EA employees who work or have recently worked directly on the game. They span multiple studios, disciplines, and seniority levels, and all agreed to talk about the project on the condition of anonymity. Asked to address the reporting in the article, EA declined to comment. According to these first-hand accounts, the changes have led to extraordinary stress and long hours. Every employee I spoke to across several studios either took exhaustion leave themselves or directly knew staffers who did. I might have flubbed that sentence. 2 people who had worked on other AAA projects within EA or elsewhere in the industry said this project had more people burning out and need to take leave than they'd ever seen before. Each of the sources I spoke with shared sincere hopes that the game will still be a hit with players, pointing to a strong conceptual start and the talent, passion, and pedigree of its development team. Whatever the end result, the inside story of the game's development illuminates why the medium and the industry in the state they're in today. Reasonably valid, I get it. I'm taking all of it with a pinch of salt because I personally find it a stretch that there's that many people. I feel like this makes it seem like an absolute boatload of people have come forwards from within the current team and former team, and that they've all agreed to speak as long as it's anonymous across all different levels of seniority. If I had to guess, and this is just my opinion, I feel like that's a reach. I genuinely feel like that's a bit of a reach, and it won't be as many as this makes it sound like it is. That might be completely unfair, and I will own that statement if it ends up being wrong at some time in the future, but to me that seems like a real reach. Do I believe they've spoken to people? Yeah, absolutely. And do I understand why it's anonymous? Yes. But anytime you have sources and they're not named and we get no specifics, you always have to take a pinch of salt with that regardless. See where I'm coming from? Good. Hopefully that's understood. A few little points I wanted to touch upon. Crunch is terrible. Crunch is terrible. And if the crunch here is worse than on a lot of other games, that's even worse. But it's not a surprise to me, and it does happen across the entire industry. That does tie in with the overall title. I think the further we go into the article, the more it leans away from this, and the more it just becomes about this, which is why I have a bit of an issue with how the article is put together. It seems to be like, oh, this is what we're going for, but this is what we end up talking about. It's a bit of a negative, slight hit piece. It's in a little bit of bad faith, in my opinion. But there are a lot of valid points still. I am not going through the road to Glacier. I know I'll come to it. I'm going to go through it in order so I don't like mix things up. This bit I've read. I don't have much of a reason to read this. I feel like this wasn't particularly relevant. So I'm going to leave this. It's just about how the last couple have gone poorly and blah, 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 which is true. It's important, actually. Something that is being missed. This is the thing I mentioned earlier. Major structural and cultural changes. That's really important. I feel like that's being received as a negative. I feel like that can be seen as a huge positive. We need huge structural and cultural changes. And I think this bit is a little bit trumped up. We'll come to it later on. I think a big deal is being made out of some potentially throwaway points. Could be wrong, as ever, but I really think this is being trumped up too much. And I think anytime people hear Call of Duty and Fortnite, they freak out. And they think they're trying to create a direct competitor. When I don't think that's really what's being aimed for. I think it sounds more so like they just are increasing the scope. Maybe increasing the scope before they should do. I do think the next one should just be focused on being a good game. I will put that out there. But I think they just want to increase the scope and hit a lot more players and move with the times a bit more. And Fortnite and Call of Duty are just examples of games that have done that to some degree. It doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to be trying to do a Call of Duty, a Fortnite, which is how a lot of people tend to receive statements like that. And another really important point is, again, the stress and the long hours is terrible. I do think that's awful. It's across the industry, but it is terrible. There's a point in here somewhere about they're still very much hoping it's going to be good and there's a lot of talent, etc. Can't remember exactly where it is. Oh, down here. That's really important. Again, that's not being focused upon at all. I think that's one of the most important points. They've apparently spoken to all these people with seemingly negative opinions, and yet they're saying they still hope it would be a big hit and point to all of the positive things about it. Why a bigger deal is not being made of that, I really don't know. And I think that is in direct... This whole thing, actually, is in direct contrast to 2042, where 2042 pre-release was all about everything's great and ahead of schedule and all blah, 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 and it was garbage. And again, I was one of the people really early on saying I'm worried about this, and then in the beta was like, this is awful. So this is not coming from like a shill. This is not coming from someone that's positive all the time, because I'm generally extremely critical. I just don't really agree with how this article is being received by the vast majority and the overall trend of where the opinions are going. Right, skipping this. Don't repeat past mistakes. Players disappointed, but so were those who worked on 2042. Sources tell me that prior to launch, Battlefield 2042's massively missed its alpha target, a milestone by which most of all the foundational features of the game are meant to be in place. Because of this, the game's final release would need to be delayed in order to deliver on the developer's intent and on players' expectations. Realistically, they have to delay the game by at least 6 months to complete it. Now they eventually only delayed it by, I think, 4 or 5 weeks, which from a development point of view means very little. Said one person who worked closely with the project at the time. Agree with that. 2042 is a travesty. Developers at DICE had hoped for more time, morale fell, but the team marched ahead to the game's lukewarm launch. Ultimately, again, must call into question a lot of the stuff that was released prior to the game about how the game was doing. Like, that was the fault of the team in place then, and it was terrible. Ultimately, EA made back some ground with what the company calls live operations, additional content and updates in the months following launch, but the game never fulfilled its ambitions. Plans are already underway for the next Battlefield game, so post-mortem was performed on 2042. It concluded that the problems had been in execution, not vision. Yeah, I mean, again, pinch of salt. But if that is accurate, I think the problem was with both of those. It wasn't just execution, it was also vision. So I'm giving the article props where I can. New processes were put into place so that issues could be identified earlier and milestones like the alpha wouldn't be missed, which is good. To help achieve this, EA hired 3 industry luminaries to lead Glacier, all of them based in the United States. Let me just turn my aircon off because I'm literally freezing. 1 second. Don't think this is relevant. Gonna skip that. 100 million players. Whilst 2042 struggled, competitors Call of Duty and Fortnite were posting astonishing player and revenue numbers. I don't think they're direct competitors, by the way. They're just other games. Thanks in large part to the popularity of their Battle Royale modes. EA's executive leadership believed Battlefield had the potential to stand toe-to-toe with them if the right calls were made and enough was invested. A lofty player target was set for Glacier, 100 million players over a set period of time. That included post-launch. This is really important. We don't know exactly where this number has come from, why it's been stated, how long ago it was, whether it's still held as what they're aiming for. It could end up being a wild swing that they get nowhere near. I just hope that not too much is made of it, because to me it doesn't seem to be of huge importance unless they don't hit that and there are, you know, ramifications for the developers. And if it doesn't line up with the money they've put into it. But if they don't hit that target, but the game is still successful and everything goes okay for the developers and everything, then I find that to be relatively unimportant. Sometimes we have lofty goals, we don't hit them. That in itself is not a huge issue for me, even if it ends up being a huge miss. And it's important to state, I think they mean, look, obviously I've read the article, as I said earlier, and I don't want to deal with leaks, but I can deal with what's in the article. They're planning a free-to-play mode. A couple things, actually. One of them, according to the article, is a battle royale. Let me skip the song, because it's not good for what we're doing here. Come back. This is for everything. This is not just for the game itself. This is for everything connected with it. And it's across the lifespan of the game, which is very different to when they normally release a Battlefield game. If the Battle Royale mode does really well, it could see a lot of players joining it. Will they hit 100 mil overall? I don't know. But they could see, if it's successful, way more players playing Battlefield-centric products over the next 3 years or so than they normally do. And of course, when they're releasing things, they want them to be successful. So they're going to look at it from a standpoint of if it's successful. So I hope not too much is made of this, even if it ends up being a ridiculous thing to have been laid out, which it, you know, absolutely might be. Obviously, Battlefield's never achieved those numbers before. One EA employee told me it's important to understand that over about that same period, 2042 had only got 22 million. I think it's really important to state Battlefield 2042. This is me talking. Battlefield 2042 was absolutely terrible and did not have additional free-to-play modes attached to it, and was one of the worst AAA releases of all time. And still actually somehow hit 22 million, so still hit almost a quarter of the overall goal. Even 2016's Battlefield 1, the most successful game in the franchise by numbers, had achieved maybe 30 million plus. That's a little more damning, but still, it's not the same circumstance. Of course, most previous Battlefield titles have been premium releases with an upfront purchase cost and no free-to-play mode, whereas successful competitors like Fortnite and Call of Duty made their Battle Royale modes freely available, monetizing users with in-game purchases and season passes that unlocked post-launch content. By the way, I'm reading this really quickly, I know, because I need to go and do things. I would normally read a little slower. It was thought that if Glacier did the same, it could achieve comparable numbers, so a free-to-play Battle Royale mode was made a core offering for the title, alongside a 6-hour single-player campaign, traditional Battlefield multiplayer modes like Conquest and Rush, a new free-to-play mode called Gauntlet, and a community content mode called Portal. Sorry, I know people are popping into the chat. Hi guys, thanks for joining. I'm just going to carry on reading. However, major setbacks significantly disrupted production, more on that in a moment, and hundreds of additional developers were brought onto Glacier from various EA-owned studios to get things back on track, significantly increasing the cost. Multiple team members with knowledge of the project's finances told me that the current projects are now well north of the $400 million amount. Yeah, super, super expensive to do all that. If they did lay out an initial $100 million budget, way too small, if this is correct. Clearly, they have agreed that more can be spent on it. So it just comes down to, again, to it needs to be a successful product. Ballooning budgets are not great generally, but I take all of it with a pinch of salt. Only time will tell how that pans out now. That can be a negative point. We'll have to see how negative, or if it ends up being negative at all. By the way, actually really dislike this paragraph. This is where it feels a little in bad faith to me. Because not everyone's going to read the whole thing, not everyone's going to understand the whole thing fully and analyze the points properly. This whole thing about major setbacks and all that jazz makes it seem like the whole game, it's been laid out here, and then we'll come to it later, and it is later on. It's only one specific aspect of the game. So a lot of people are coming away with a takeaway that the whole thing is in trouble. which is not actually really the case from what we end up reading and what we're seeing from people that are playing BF Labs and stuff. So I really dislike this. I really don't agree with how this is structured. Despite the big ambitions of the new leadership team and EA executives, very few people working in the studios believed the 100 million target was achievable. Sources told me many of those who had worked on Battlefield for a long time at DICE in Stockholm were particularly skeptical. Amongst the things that we are predicating is that we don't have to cannibalize anyone else's sales, one developer said. There's just such an appetite out there for shooters of this kind that we'll just naturally be able to get the audience that we need. Regarding the lofty player and revenue targets, one source has said that nothing in the market research or our quality deliverables indicate that we would be anywhere near that. Yeah, time will tell on that. That might be true. That might be accurate. I think people are surprised that they actually worked on the next Battlefield game and then increased their ambitions to what they are right now. That is a weird sentence. I don't know if that's a direct quote. If it is, I think it might just be unfortunate and that the tone is kind of lost when you're reading it in text form. Because it could be received as they're surprised they actually worked on the next Battlefield game and then increased the ambitions. I think it can be received in the wrong context, but I want to make sure that people understand. I think it just means people are a bit surprised that they have increased what they're trying to do with this one after how the last one went. Which also I am to some degree, but at least they are backing it up with the workforce to some degree and the money as well, even if it is way over budget, which they need to do because they can't massively increase the scale after the flop of 2042 and then not support it properly. So although that is received as somewhat of a negative, there is a slight lesser positive involved. In 2023, a significant disruption to the project put one game mode in jeopardy, foreshadowing a more troubled development than anyone initially imagined. Yeah, again, kinda. Battlefield games have a reputation for middling single-player campaigns, and Battlefield 2042 didn't include one at all, but part of this big bet on Glacier was the idea of offering the complete package to Ridgeline Games scaled up while working on a campaign EA hoped would keep Battlefield competitive with Call of Duty, which usually has included a single-player campaign in its releases. Don't like that bit. That's fluff. That's complete fluff. Absolute fluff. No quote, no source, no nothing. To claim it's to compete with Call of Duty via the single player mode, no. I just don't read anything into that. But yes, the single player mode understandably deemed something necessary after 2042 didn't have one, didn't perform well, and everyone was like, well, we don't even have single player. So I think it's good having the single player, and yes, it would be better if it's actually good. The studio worked in the campaign for about 2 years while it was also scaling and hiring talent to catch up to established studios within the Battlefield family. It didn't work out. In February 2024, Ridgeline was shuttered. Halo luminary Marcus Leto left the company, and the rest of the studio were left to pick up the pieces. When a search and review came up not long before the studio was shuttered, Glacier's top leadership were dissatisfied with the progress they were seeing, and the call was made. Sources and EA teams outside Ridgeline told me that there weren't proper check-ins and internal reviews on the progress, obscuring the true state of the project until the fateful review. On the other hand, those close to Ridgeline described a situation in which the team couldn't possibly complete its objectives as it was expected to hire and scale up from zero whilst also meeting the same milestones as established studios with the resources already in place. They kept reallocating funds, especially staff months, essentially staff months, out of our budget. One person told me, and we're sitting there trying to adapt to doing more with less. So this is where I think we have to take things again with a grain of salt, because when you're dealing with former devs that have an axe to grind, they're going to be negative. It's to be expected. It doesn't mean it's irrelevant. It just also means you have to consider that as a key point. And to link it back to what I was saying earlier, it's very clear here that what was presented earlier on, which is the key takeaway a lot of people are taking about all behind schedule and it's a mess and Shutter Studio and everything, it only lines up with the single player. And I don't think that's really being mentioned by many people at all. Hold on, let me have a drink of water because I'm reading a lot. I believe this. I believe that, yeah, they probably weren't getting it to where it was needed to be. They were obscuring the state of it, and they weren't having the check-ins go right. And I also partially believe this. I can also see this being the case. I think probably both of these can be true to some degree. Where on the scale the blame really lies, I have no way of knowing, and nor do you guys. But I think both of these probably are somewhat true. After the shuttering of Ridgeline, ownership of single player shifted to 3 other EA studios, Criterion, DICE, and Motive, but those teams had a difficult road ahead, as there was essentially nothing left that Ridgeline had spent 2 years working on they could pick up on and build. So they had to redo essentially everything from scratch within the same constraints or when the game had to release. Single player was 2 years behind. As of late spring 2025, it was the only game mode that had failed to reach alpha, well over a year after the initial overall alpha target for the project. That's really bad. That is genuinely really bad. But again, really want to stress, if you want to take positives from this, which I actually do, it is just the single player. Everything else sounds like it's on track and doing quite well, especially if we're to believe what's happening with the overall consensus regarding BF Labs and everything attached to that stuff. And if, as I said earlier on when I was playing, if there's one thing that I'd be most okay with not being ready or not being in a great state to begin with, it's the single player. It's not okay to release things in a bad state, but if I had to choose one thing out of what's presented to do badly or to not be quite ready, it is single player. I would pick that one. Again, I want to double stress that. I'm not okay with it, but it's the one I'm most willing to have in that state. And I think in the long run, it's the other stuff that's going to be the stuff that people remember because it's a Battlefield game. And when the game releases, the stuff that needs to hit well, the most important things to hit well are the basic multiplayer and this apparent battle royale that the article states that they're working on. They're the two things that need to land well. They need to hit the ground at least somewhat running. You can agree or disagree, but I think that's relatively logical. Where are we? Where are we up to? Also, I find this a little tough to take. The concept that they're starting from scratch early this year. I feel like there would definitely be some stuff they could work with after 2 years of work. I truly do. And what was said in the chat earlier, I can't remember who it was, but even this doesn't line up with what was said in the chat. The idea that they started working on the fresh thing in March, April, something like that. This was February. They will have worked on it as soon as possible. It's not much time to work on it, but I don't think it's... I think it's probably... It could be in a really bad state, but I don't think it's as bad as it's being laid out by some people at the moment. But still, this whole bit is bad. If this is all accurate, this whole bit is bad. But it's on a part of the game that I see as being less important. And I really don't think, as I said, I really don't think that is being focused upon very much, and it's important that it is. Yeah, I do. Sorry, the mice. I do. It is important, but I think it's less important. I don't think it's going to be like the key driver for the game doing well or not. But it would be good if everything could launch well, of course. I think having a good launch after 2042 and BF5 is important. But we'll have to see. We'll have to see how that goes. Probably the most negative part of the article, I will say. And I can't really argue with it too much. Culture shock. Speaking of people who have worked on... let me start again. Sorry, my voice is getting tired. Speaking of people who have worked or currently work at DICE in Sweden, the tension between some at the studio and the new US-based leadership team was obvious, and to a degree that's expected. I appreciate them writing that. Because it is. It's not a great thing, but it is to be expected. DICE had the pride of having started Battlefield and owned the IP, but now the studio was just supporting it for American leadership. They had one person who worked there. Further, there's a lot of distrust and disbelief when it comes just operating towards numbers that very few people believe in apart from the leadership. That comes back to the whole number thing. Yeah, I don't know how much credence to give that, so I can't really comment. I just hope we don't focus on it too much without knowing exactly where our opinion should lie. Sorry, what'd you say? I just don't think we as the consumer at this point should be okay or complacent with them fumbling any part of the game for the franchise's sake. No, I agree. I don't disagree with that. I don't disagree. Yeah, I just want to really stress. I think that what the takeaway of this article is that it is the single player, and no one seems to be talking about that. They're just talking about the game struggle. Like, all I'm seeing on Twitter and Reddit and stuff is, oh, game's cooked, behind schedule, everyone's disagreeing, it's all terrible. And that's not what this article is saying, but it is kind of what the article is leading people to believe, somewhat because of how it's written, which is why I'm not a huge fan, and somewhat because of how some people are just processing it or choosing to view it. But yeah, I'm definitely not okay with any part of the game not being ready, but pinch of salt with all of it. Absolute pinch of salt. I will wait to see what the single player is like. Hopefully it's great. If it's not great and it's behind, I won't be surprised because of this. But the 100 million player comment has me really worried. I'm just not. I'm just not. It could be worrying. It could be worrying if they focus on it too much and the game gets nowhere near it, and then there are ramifications for it. But we don't honestly know that right now. We don't know what number it will reach, and we don't know if it will end up being the be-all and end-all. I think we should really focus on the quality of the game. Playing a modern BF game with people running around in Ninja Turtle skins, I would forget that. I honestly don't think that will be tied to it in any way, shape, or form. This is not going to be a Call of Duty situation, in my opinion. If I'm wrong, everyone can tell me in a year or two that I was wrong. I have no fears about that. If you're worrying about the 100 million players thing and tying it into monetization with ridiculous stuff, I genuinely don't think that is what's going to happen here. I just truthfully don't. Hand on heart, I don't believe that is what's going to happen. And I would like to think if they were looking at doing insane stuff like that, it would have come up in this article somewhere. It seems like they're trying to reach for anything they can to put a negative spin on the game. I'm pretty sure they would have mentioned it in here if it was planned. I find it really weird, by the way, which is, again, to knock some more points off the article. Why in this article is it not mentioned anywhere about the weapons being locked or unlocked according to recent reports? That has been the big controversy within the past, what, month or two? Not even mentioned. Nothing. Not a thing. When did they do these interviews? And were they updated? Why has that not been brought up at all? I don't understand that. If this is supposed to be such an in-depth expose, are you telling me that wasn't mentioned by anyone, even though there's been public disagreements online between devs? I find that really odd, personally. But the tensions appear to go deeper than that. Two other major factors were at play. Scaling pains at the scope of the project expanded. As the scope of the project expanded, and differences in cultural values between the US leadership and the workers in Europe. I can 100% believe that. DICE, being originally a Swedish studio, they're a bit more humble. They want to build the best game, and they want to achieve the greatest in terms of the game experience. One developer told me, of course, when you're operated by EA, you have to set financial expectations in order to be profitable as possible. Both sides, I absolutely understand. Can't really be critical of either. The tension wasn't new, but before 2042 failed to meet expectations, DICE Stockholm employees say they were given more leeway to set the vision for the game, as well as greater influence on timeline and targets. This is nothing to me. This could have been a positive if 2042 had been good. But honestly, them setting the vision of the last game, it was terrible. So if the last one had been good, I could have been like, you know what, pat yourselves on the back, true, and yeah, this might be part of the problem. It was awful. So this is a nothing to me. Some EU-based team members were vocally dismayed at how top-down directors from far-flung offices, along with the US companies' emphasis on quarterly profits, have affected Glacier's development far more than with previous Battlefield titles. This is fluff for me. This came up less in talking to US-based staff, but everyone I spoke with on both continents agreed on one thing. Growing pains accompanied with the transition from a production environment where one studio leads and others offer support to a new setup with 4 primary studios plus outside support from all over EA, and all of it helmed by LA-based leadership. Yeah, that's going to be difficult. That's understandable. That is to be expected. It doesn't make it okay. It doesn't make it a good thing, and it doesn't make it a bad thing. It's just that's just going to be the case. Sorry, you can say that's a bad thing, but it's an expected bad thing with no way around it. So, really nothing for me. Also, does not, this is starting to be about my point, does not link to what the article is supposedly supposed to be about. EA is not alone in adopting this approach. It's also used by competitor Activision Blizzard on the Call of Duty franchise, though it's worth noting that a big hit like Epic Games' Fortnite is a very different culture, whereas publishers like EA... Why? Whereas publishers like EA and Activision Blizzard used to house several studios, each of which works on its own AAA games, they now increasingly make bigger bets on a singular game as a service offering, with several of their studios working in tandem on a single project. Fine. Development of games has changed so much in the last 10 to 15 years, said one developer. That's absolutely true. The new arrangement excites investors and shareholders. Good. Who can imagine returns from the next big unicorn release, but it can be a less creatively fulfilling way to work, as directives come from the top down, and much time is spent on dealing with inter-studio process. Further, it amplifies. Sorry, my brain's getting tired. It amplifies the effects of failure with a high human cost to people working on projects that don't meet expectations. Yes, that is something that's definitely a takeaway from this. That is to do with the state of the industry at this point, and that is sad. And that can be tied in with the 100 million player goal if too much focus is put on that and they don't get near it. I'm always very sorry for people in the gaming industry that lose their jobs when they don't necessarily deserve it. If you do a terrible job helming a game, then I can understand you losing your job. But when you just lose your job because that is the way of the market at this point, that sucks. And I have huge sympathy for those involved. It also made the problems that affected Battlefield 2042's development more difficult to avoid. Meh. Clearing the gates. EA Studios use system of gates to set the pace of development. I'm going to summarize this. Basically, because I've read this through. Basically, they're calling them gates, but they have these set points. Set point 1 and set point 2, for example, where they have to clear these gates for continuation at certain points so that they don't end up with the issues that they had before in 2042, etc. There are complaints that this puts a lot of pressure on people and wasted effort and blah, 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 blah. I understand the frustration with that. I really, really do. But at the end of the day, they had to change how they're going about things. And if this ends up making the product better, good. It's going to be a... what's the phrase? The proof is in the pudding. It's going to be a proof in the pudding moment. If the game does poorly and it comes down to something to do with this and the frustrations with this, then understandable complaints. If the game does well, then this is a reasonable thing to do. Even if the game does badly, they had to change something about the process. It's not all going to be great. I understand it's not necessarily an optimal scenario, but I'm actually kind of pleased to hear that things have been changed to some degree. They already blew through their £400 million budget. You know investors are going to be pissed off. The company just in their own checkpoints just passed the project forward. What's the point of the checkpoint? Hold on, did I forget about that bit? Where's that bit? Where's that a bit about them moving? I don't remember that part. I can see what you're saying. I forgot about that bit. I can see what you're saying. I think because it's gate 3 and they wanted to push it through, it's a bit more understandable. It's not a brilliant look, but quite what the alternative was going to be, I'm not sure. It does somewhat negate gate 3 being needed. Oh, that's why I said gate 1 and 2 earlier on, because this bit sort of like wasn't much to me. But yeah, that is a negative to some degree. I agree. But I can understand it a little bit because it's, again, gate 3 rather than gate 1 or 2, and they're now trying to push through to completion. But yeah, that can be pointed at if something isn't quite right. Where the single player is concerned, for example, yeah, that could be a difficult point for them. Thank you, Demitis. I'm not so much alongside. I mean, this really comes down to how the game does at release and how much money it ends up making. And it depends what we mean by investors. So proof is in the pudding. Again, it's been cleared for that to be spent, obviously. I think the initial budget was probably just too low. But hopefully they don't go way over any kind of like max budget sort of deal. But yeah, we'll see on this, maybe. That's quite possible to be a pain point. But again, if the game's really good and does really well, this will be forgotten about. But we'll see. Yeah, it's definitely one of the negatives to take. I agree. How far through are we? God, there's a lot. Was this the point I was going to hit? I think I was going to skip this, but let me read it because I can't remember. Because of these issues, the majority of the people I spoke with said they expected planned feature content to be cut before the game's actual launch, which is normal to a degree. But these common game development problems can contribute to other aspects of modern AAA gaming that many consumers find frustrating. First off, making major decisions so late in the process can lead to a huge day one patches. Yeah, sorry, I read this. I didn't care about it. I really don't think this is. I really don't think this is of importance. You could, if you want to go and read it yourselves, guys, you can. But this I don't really see as being necessary for the article. That's how game development works. Don't need to go through that. That's not relevant for this, I don't think. Yeah, I felt like this whole section was kind of just crammed in. I'm not keen on that bit. How much should Baldur's Gate production cost? I have no idea, but I would expect Baldur's Gate to be way cheaper than this, even though it took a very long time to produce, because the scope of this game is massive. So I would expect it to absolutely dwarf Baldur's Gate. Single player is also a problem. Single player in itself is massively late. It's the latest part of the game. Yeah, this is a point. Why did we now come back to the single player thing? I definitely had an issue with this. I really don't like how this is laid out, and this is part of why people are receiving the article extremely negatively. Why did we start off by saying, but basically implying that the game's super mega behind and there's problems with the development, and then we went, okay, it's actually about the single player, and then stopped really talking about it, and then came back to it in a later paragraph here. I think this is part of the problem. It doesn't minimize that this is an issue in isolation, but the article is being received a certain way because of this. Baldur's Gate was 100 million over 6 years. Yeah, I can believe that. I can believe that. It doesn't I'll be honest, it doesn't bother me particularly. I think game budgets can be so different based on what they're trying to produce. It really comes down to how much BF6 makes compared to the development cost, which we don't know right now. But obviously it'd be easier to make money on a game that only cost 100 million compared with 400 million if these figures are accurate. But if they need 400 million to hit what they're trying to achieve, and it's good for the game in the long term, then that's fine. It just needs to therefore make a lot of money. Again, proof in the pudding. If it massively undershoots what they want to make from it, yeah, that's going to be a massive problem. But again, I am somewhat pleased they've decided to be like, okay, let's provide the money that's needed, rather than being like, no, we're not going to give you the time, money, and resources that you need. You're just going to release it, because then we probably would have got just another Battlefield 2042. So there's elements of good and bad in that. Oh my god, I need to pick this up because it's nearly 6 PM and I have to go and do things. Do I have a link for it? No, I'm sorry, I don't have a link for it. I forgot to get it, but if you just type into Google Battlefield 6 article, concerns, something like that, you will find it, mate. I promise you'll find it. Hi Ariosto, way to success for BF6's Jiggle. I started to read it. I hope you had a good day, dude. How are you doing? Where were we? Yeah, right. So I've done my complaints about us now coming back to this when it's all spread out. I don't think the article should have been laid out this way. Single player is also a problem. Single player in itself is massively late. It's the latest part of the game, I was told. Without an enormous patch on day one or early access to the game, it's unrealistic that they're going to be able to release it to what they need it to do. I read that right? Was that a weird sentence? Without an enormous patch on day one or early access to the game, it's unrealistic that they're going to be able to release it to what they needed it to do. I think that's just a flubbed sentence. Sorry, Mr. Party. That's all right, mate. No worries. No problem. No problem. Oh, you provided the link. Thank you, Demetrius. I appreciate that. If the single-player mode is a linear narrative campaign as originally planned, it may not be possible to delay missions or other content from the campaign's post-launch seasons. True. Single-player is secondary. I feel like I've forgotten this part. Yes, yes, Ariasto, it is. That's exactly what it is. Single-player is secondary to multiplayer, so they will shift the priorities to make sure that single-player meets some minimal expectations, however you want to measure that. But the multiplayer is the main focus, and the EA employee said. Good. Good. I know not everyone's going to want to hear that, but good. That is the sensible decision. I feel like I have to... I hope you guys will keep in mind what I have already said. I feel like I need to keep saying this. I'm not okay with elements of the game doing poorly. Oh, thank you very much, Pav. Welcome to the membership collective, dude. Appreciate it, man. Very kind. Can we get Pav some love in the chat, please, guys, for the support? That we're going to be on about 22-23% a goal or something for the day. I know it's not on screen when I'm on this screen, but thank you very much, Pav. That's awesome, dude. Very kind. Yeah, I know people aren't going to want to hear this, and I'm not okay with the single player being behind if it is, and if it's, you know, not good, that sucks. But I think they've made sensible decisions regarding that, and if the development studio didn't live up to expectations with what they were trying to do with single player, and they had to cut them, then I guess they're now just doing the best that they can do. It doesn't make it okay. Also, I believe that they probably were really struggling, and they maybe didn't have what they needed to get it done. I'm very sympathetic if that is the case, but I'm just... If we're looking at this purely from where we are right now with the situation... These are the right decisions to make. And if the single player is on the back burner and they're just going to try and get it to a minimum level of acceptable quality, so be it. That's not great, but I'm very much in the boat of so be it. If there's no single player, I'm definitely not buying the game. There is a single player. There is a single player. It's just a part of the game that apparently might not be up to snuff. That's all right, Pav. No worries, dude. All good, man. No problem. No problem. Yeah, sorry, Pav. You have... disrupted on McGee's wild streak of support. It was like a hour and 45 or 2 hour long streak of support uninterrupted. So thank you very, very much, Pav. Thank you today, Pav, McGee, Hunted, and Dean for the support. Like I say, we've got to about 22-23% in gold today. So thank you, those of you that contributed towards that. Very kind of you. Where were we? I really need to hurry up. They might have to cut a part of the single player out in order for the game to release with a single player, or they would have to severely work through the summer into the latter part of the year and try to fix that. Yeah, I'm not okay with crunch. As I've said, I think crunch sucks for devs, but it's standardized in the industry, unfortunately. It's not unique to Battlefield. But yeah, it does suck. And the potential of a disappointed product is a cost to players, but there are costs for developers who work on the game too, because time limits must be kept. Not everything can be cut or moved post-launch. It falls on employees to make up the gap. As we've seen in countless similar reports about AAA video game development before, that sometimes means longer hours and heavier stress. Yeah, I wish the article had been more focused on this. Didn't know you're on time crunch. I'm supposed to be doing things. I had a very... I was hoping for a short day today and didn't get it, but you know, it was always unlikely. This morning my internet wasn't working, so I had to try and make my shorts and upload them via my mobile hotspot, which took a very long time, then make the second video for tomorrow, blah blah blah. So I didn't get to do my exercise, which I still need to do, and I didn't get to work on video works for the main channel. So yeah, a bit of a time crunch, but it's all right. We'll get through this and then I'll go. It's all good. No problem. No rush for you guys. It's a me thing. I've been talking for too long. Right. More than 2 decades ago, the spouse of an EA employee famously wrote an open letter to bring attention to long hours and high stress that developers at the company faced. This is more of the same. This is not relevant to the player unless the player really cares about the devs, which I do, and you should, obviously, but it's not relevant to me for the way the article is being received by...
Celebratory gesture emoji.
Is this McGee's dono coming through? Thank you, McGee. Oh, Jesus, Ariosto. Bloody hell. McGee, thank you for the $1. Ariosto, thank you for the $150. Bloody hell, man. I think we hit goal, everybody. Amazing. Unbelievable. Thank you so much. That's phenomenal. Do I need to buy tapioca to eat on stream at some point? Is that now a requirement? Can we get Ariosto some huge love in the chat along with Don McGee, please? Thank you so much. That's so kind. I need to not go on a long thank you here because of the time pressure, but thank you very, 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 very much. Ariosto and McGee, everybody. 2 goals in a row after a horrible 3 days in a row. That's immense. Thank you so much. This week is actually still on track now. Unbelievable. Thank you. Super kind. Thank you very much. I would normally spend long... Hi, Coins. How you doing? Sorry. I would normally spend longer doing my thank you, but we'll carry on with the article. But thank you so much. Unbelievable. Since then, some things have improved. People at all levels... Yeah, we're going to skip this bit. We're going to skip that. Finding solutions. Yep, not relevant to us. Trying to remember what this part was about. More time to make a game is better generally for fans and for devs. I don't disagree with that. It's not relevant to where we are right now because we're getting next Battlefield imminently and that's not going to be altered. But yes, in the long run, not just for Battlefield, for the gaming industry as a whole, I would like development studios to have longer. Quite how that's going to go, I doubt it, but it would be nice. I'm on board with that. You tried to do a super chat and it didn't work, Pav. Oh, I don't know why, mate. I don't know. If you've got any specific details for us, let us know. But otherwise, thank you for trying, man. I appreciate the intention behind it, regardless, dudes. I don't know why you'd be getting an error, mate. I really don't. But thank you very much. There is Streamlabs in the description if you would like to do it that way. It's better for me and for your money to do it that way, but it's up to you, mate. Thank you very much for trying. There may not be enough player time or attention to go around given the numerous games as a service titles. I don't give this any credence. If the game does well and if all the offerings are really good, there'll be enough people wanting to play it, especially with Warzone going through cycles of people wanting to play it and not wanting to play it. There's always people. The world's friggin' massive, dude. There's so many people playing video games. There's so many people that would want to try out a free game. There's so many people that will try out a shooter. There's so many people that try out a BR or an extraction product. This bit is a nothing for me. Working smarter, not harder. The anxiety has led to steadily growing unionization efforts. This is also about crunch. I find it a really, really, really confusing, unfocused article. Some of it's good, some of it's not. Fair play to the guy for what he's done. I just don't like a lot of the article. But the majority of the problem is not really the article, it's just how it's being received. And I hope now I've gone through it and gone through individual points, you can see where I'm coming from. And a lot of your points are hopefully now... a lot of your fears, are hopefully eased now to some degree. I do understand why some of you are very negative, and I do understand the anxiety, especially because the last two have done poorly. But I genuinely see this one as being in a different spot than those two. And I, again, genuinely think this article is being received a lot more negatively than it needs to be. I think a lot of it is not relevant to the situation. But some of it is relatively damning if the next one does do poorly, and it is relatively damning even if the next one does well, and I do think the next one will do well if I had to guess. Crunch is a terrible thing. It is not relevant to the players apart from ethically, and that is important because devs should have good work-life balance and should be compensated for all of their efforts to the right degree. Everyone deserves to make the money they should make for the quality they're providing, for the importance of the service that they are there to provide. So I do agree that the industry is in disarray where that is concerned. But I don't think that is the major takeaway from the article that people are getting within the Battlefield community. And that's why I feel like the article is being inadvertently misrepresented, and also the article is being presented itself in a slightly slanted fashion. It feels just a bit like a hit piece, and it feels like it's designed to get clicks by dumping on an easy target, because I don't think this actually, what is presented, reads all that negatively when you actually analyze it. I think it sucks that the devs are being crunched, some of them. I think it sucks the studio got shut down, whether they deserved it or not, I don't know. I think it sucks that the single player might be behind in terms of development. But I think there's a lot of good going on with the next game from what we've heard from other sources and the friggin' leaks and stuff, which I despise. And I think there's a lot of people on Twitter and on Reddit posting, and by the way, not just random people, like there's a lot of figureheads within the community doing it irresponsibly. I think there's a lot of tweets and headlines jumping on this and being like, oh, it's cooked, without reading it, without analyzing it, without understanding it. And I think that sucks. And I think all of it, that and both the article itself, are indicative of where we are these days with YouTube and with social media and with websites and articles. It's all about clicks, it's all about views, it's all about ads, it's all about the money. And that is not to say that what is in this article that is negative is okay, because it's not. But I think it's trumped up. And I think that he should have done a better job of it. Now I get to say that because I put my content right down the middle. You know, you guys know I don't lean into the positive, I don't lean into the negative. I stay down the middle and just give my opinion and look at things logically and try and have some form of balance where balance deserves to be. I don't think this article does this. Now, is there an argument that articles and websites and whatever need to put a slant on things now to get the clicks and views? Yeah, maybe. Do I have to respect it? No. So I don't. But props to the guy for the parts of the article that are good and for the effort that's seemingly gone into it, even if I think the article is twice as long as it needs to be. And again, pinch of salt with everything, because I don't know this guy's back history. I've never heard of him before. I hope he does a great job in general. He might be a big deal. I'm not decrying his impact or how good he is at his job. I just don't know who he is. I've never heard of this before. And none of the sources are named for understandable reasons. But when you have a circumstance like that, you can't just take everything as being as read. At least I won't, and you probably shouldn't. But you can make up your own minds. But I do hope that eases some of your fears, and we can start looking at the positives again, because we want the next one to do well. And we want to be positive if we can be. And if the next one cycles around, and even if it's good, even if it's really good, if the single player is behind where it should have been and isn't great, fair play. We'll call it out. And if it turns out the devs were being crunched to hell and it sucks, let's call that out. Let's call that out across the industry. But let's not sit there and say the next Battlefield is doomed because of this article, because the article doesn't actually even present that when you read through the slant and read through what's actually being presented. And I really hope that makes sense. Good. I don't know where we're at for goal. You know what? I've stuck around this long. Let's actually calculate it. And then I will let you guys go, and I need to actually go and do this walk and a little bit of work. So bear with me. And eat. Eat would be important as well. Thank you so much for a second goal day in a row. Ariosto coming through and snatching that for us. Amazing. It was looking like I had 1 mega day and 4 terrible days in that span. But it's actually worked out as 3 bad days and then 2 good days. So we're starting to get back to some kind of like, you know, some kind of par. So I appreciate that. Thank you so much. We reach 113% of the goal. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. That should be on your screen right now. Let me catch up with what you were saying before I jump away. GG's only feet lingers in the link tree, guys. It's not, but we can work on it if you like. Actually, my feet are tattooed, or one of them's tattooed, the other one's scheduled to be tattooed. Well, not scheduled, actually, because she's so busy, but will be scheduled. I don't know, we'll think about it. If the single player doesn't come out on launch, then what's the point of having it? I think if it released late, there'd still be a purpose to it, but it would be less important. It would be better to get the single player first or alongside other stuff than to get it late. Definitely. I completely agree with that. I think the impact the single player could have if it comes out after release is obviously nullified to a large degree. You can decide what percentage. But it would still be worth putting out. But yeah, I would much prefer it. I would much prefer all of it to be in a workable state when it comes out. Again, I want to really ram that home. I haven't suddenly swung from being critical to being mega supportive of everything that's happening. I'm just trying to look at it from a reasonable standpoint. But yeah, there will still be a purpose to it regardless. I just hope it's... If they can get it to a 5 or 6 out of 10, that's not amazing, but we'll take it, right? If the rest of the game is good, we'll take it. And I hope they can do that. I hope that they don't release something that's like a 2 or 3, because that would suck. And I would criticize that. I would call that out. I think the article was a great success. Like Borat would say, let's hope it's exaggerated. GZ also served the article wave. Nice done, my friend. Thank you. I appreciate it. We don't normally do content like this. You know, I would like to do a lot more like this in the future if we get the opportunity to do so, but it really depends how things go. But if we get a lot more people coming through and do a lot better with the algorithm, we can do a lot more stuff like this rather than just, you know, playing the game all the time. I would like to do that. The thing is, though, Art Technica is a very well reputable and long-standing review site. Well, that's fair enough. I mean, more power to them. I really don't know anything about them. I honestly had never heard of them before. But if they are, that's fine. You know, that adds, excuse me, at least a little more credibility to it. I did look, and the guide. No, that's not. I need to do more research if I'm going to talk about that. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Forget that. I need to give the guy the benefit of the doubt to some degree. I didn't look into it deeply enough to comment actually publicly. Anyway, I really do hope that helps, and I hope you can see why I'm not panicking like everyone else seems to be. I actually feel pretty good about the next one. ARS Technica. Sorry, did I misread that? My bad. Yeah, I say that hand on heart. You know, I would be honest. If I was really worried, I would tell you guys. Because the next game is very important to me, professionally and personally. But I'm not worried, based on the article. I'm encouraged by some parts of the article. I'm disappointed by some things, like specifically the crunch and the single player stuff. That sucks. But I'm not worried right now, based purely on the article. And I think what we're hearing from... I hate commenting on the leaks, because I actually don't really interact with the leaks. But the general consensus regarding BF Labs is good. So I'm focusing on that. And focusing on the fact that they've changed the culture and they changed the processes. Because, my God, they had to change something. So thank God they did. And we'll see. If there are issues, as I said, with the single player when it comes out, I will say so. I will absolutely say so. And I will hold them accountable for that. But until then, we'll see, and we'll just hope the product overall is good. If the product overall is a 6 or 7 out of 10 or more, cool. I'll give a thumbs up. We'll find out together. And if you don't want to pre-order because of all of this stuff, or just because of your sensibilities, great. Perfectly sensible. Perfectly sensible. They better change it to locking class weapons. Do you want to talk about that quickly? Because I've been here this long anyway. I'm kind of over it. I'm kind of over it, personally. Thank you, Leonidas. I appreciate it, mate. I'm kind of over it. I've stated before, I would like the weapons to be locked. I like the traditional class system. I've also stated that I think the easiest way to have it be a positive is to just have the weapons locked to the classes, because then it wouldn't even be a talking point. And if it's not a talking point, you remove a potential problem. That being said, do I think the game can be good if they have the classes, the weapons unlocked, as long as they do a good job of it and create an interesting mechanic around it? Maybe. Yeah. Do I think they will? I hope so, but I don't know. Do I think they're going to change it now? No. At this point, no. I really don't. And I also think that would require now more redevelopment, which could actually be more of a problem. So I'm kind of over that whole thing. I think it's going to be that way. It's not the way I want it to be. It's not the way I think they should have gone for this release. I think if they wanted to do something like that, they should have done it in the next one, because this one's so important. But now I'm just going to wait and find out. And I think the game can be good either way. And even if we don't end up liking the class system, if the overall game is good, I think everyone will get over it. And again, I find it weird this wasn't mentioned in the article. I do think that's an important point that hasn't been brought up by other people. It's a bit weird. But yeah, I'm over it. I don't really think about it anymore. I'm just going to see what the game is like, and hopefully it's great. And hopefully they do a good job with the classes. And if they don't do a good job with the classes, then I'll call it out. I'll call it out when that happens. And they will have to work out what the hell to do with it. That'll be on them. But right now, I'm not bothered anymore. It's going to be the way it's going to be. And hopefully the game is great. So we'll see. Right, I'm going to go and... I don't know if I'm going to eat before the walk or walk and eat. Or I don't know. But I'm going to go. Thank you so much for the support today. Unbelievable. Thank you for keeping me company as well if you sat and chatted to me. Thank you for the likes on the stream. Thank you for any follows or subs. Make sure you've followed or subbed. If you want to catch more of the content. It costs you nothing, apart from subbing on Twitch, unless you use a Twitch Prime, of course. Thank you, Pav. Not in my mini feed. I think it was Pav. Thank you, Pav. Thank you, Ariosto. Thank you, Mon Capitaz. Oh, no, yeah, it was Pav. Thank you, Pav. Thank you, Mon Capitaz. Thank you, McGee. Thank you, Ariosto. Thank you, Dean. Thank you, Hunted. I think that was all the support today. And thank you for hanging out with me. I appreciate it. I know it's really weird to sit and do talks like this when we have way lower viewership than before. It kind of made sense to do these talks when we were streaming to 100 plus people or thousands of people on the trailers and stuff. But in the day, I want to treat you guys the same whether we're down at 20 viewers or up at 2,000 viewers. I've experienced all of it and in between, and probably will continue to experience a huge range of viewership moving forwards. So I hope that you get the same experience out of it regardless. Thank you so much. I'll see you next time. Thank you for your kind words. I am reading it. I appreciate that. I'm back tomorrow. Ariesto, thank you for the massive support. Sorry you got to see no gameplay. I'll hopefully catch you soon and I'll give you gameplay. And on McGee, I will do your Parabellum round tomorrow if you remind me. And I would work out where I'm going to get tapioca from for at some point in the future. Have a good one, everybody. And get goodbye with great. It's got tiny hands. Love you very much. See you soon. Thank you for your subs and follows. Goodbye. The Mitis, by the way, nice to see you, dude. Again, we'll catch you if you're not too busy whenever, mate, with your work stuff. All right, bye.